Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Planting Trees for All, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Chapter 31. Lu Shu looked at the chat on the World Public screen and became increasingly speechless. Of course, he was too lazy to care what others thought. Anyway, during this period of time, he would just stay on the island and finish his cultivation. During this period, Lu Shu went to the transaction interface and completed a transaction. He took out 10 packs of primary fertilizer and a primary spiritual energy fruit, and used all kinds of bargaining methods to obtain a new weapon from the trading place. Chenghong Sword. Level: Top grade mysterious weapon. Attributes: Attack power 100, Puncture 35, Attack speed 20. Skill: Chenghong Sun. This is the node where the Grey World is about to invade. How much more valuable primary fertilizers have become. I wonder if Mu Yu Tingfeng will regret using so much primary fertilizer in exchange for his own fruit, and his intestines will turn blue. Taking advantage of this moment, Lu Shu only used 10 packets of primary fertilizer to exchange it for a high-grade mysterious weapon from a divine tree master who had awakened his divine weapon talent. This was completely unimaginable before. Such high-grade weapons may not be sold by others. After half a day of practice, boom, a wave of air arose. Lu Shu's realm also broke through to the acquired 4th level. High-level spiritual energy fruits can still play a great role for warriors in the acquired realm. Holding the Chenghong sword in hand, Lu Shu tried to use the skill of Chenghong penetrating the sun. A rainbow sword energy burst out from the tip of the sword, spanning 10 feet, and its power was infinite. Coupled with Lu Shu's cultivation and the perception range of 40 meters away, he can simply kill his opponent with his sword energy outside of other people's gray mist. With weapons in Lu Shu's realm, it can be said to be even more powerful at the combat level. At this time, in front of Lu Shu, an invitation prompt suddenly popped up. Sacred Tree Master, Johnny, invites you to conduct a transaction. Who is this guy? Lu Shu frowned and was about to refuse. Who knows, Johnny directly sent a private message. Brother, I made a big discovery in the Grey World. I would like to ask if you have a chance to go with me. Lu Shu sneered in her heart. Whoever believes this is a fool. What's the real benefit? If you don't grab it yourself, you'll invite others to eat it too. Seeing Lu Shu's delay in responding, Johnny got straight to the point. I found a way to conquer a difficult level dungeon. Difficult level copy. This sentence actually made Lu Shu a little interested. Anyone who knows the difficulty level dungeon shouldn't be an ordinary sacred tree master. In this case, it doesn't hurt to meet each other. Tree Raider, why are you telling me this? Johnny, I can't clear this dungeon by myself. It's too difficult, but if you can help me, we may be able to clear this dungeon together. Tree Raider, so confident. The difficult level dungeon is not a good place to go. Why are you looking for me? Johnny, you have won the first kill dungeon reward twice. You are definitely a master. With you here in my strategy, you have a high chance of passing the dungeon. Tree Raider, haha, then why should I help you? Johnny, you get 70% of the benefits you get in the dungeon, and I get 30%. When you encounter benefits, you make the first choice. The Tree Lover, that sounds nice. Why should I believe what you say? Johnny, you can get the first kill of 2 dungeons, and I will not be your opponent. Moreover, I have not asked anyone else about this matter. I am the only one who will go to this dungeon with you. Lu Shu was silent for a moment. Of course he knew there was something behind what the other person said. However, Lu Shu also has his own support. How could he use his true body to see the other person? After thinking for a moment, Lu Shu smiled and replied. It's interesting, but the Grey World is so big, and it will soon be invaded by the Grey World. Are you sure I will really run that far just to clear a difficult level dungeon? Johnny, the locations where you killed the boss twice were at the Death Manor at coordinates 44, 45 and the Ghost Town at 44, 43, both near the City of the Living Dead. It just so happened that the location of the dungeon I found, at 42, 43, which is not very far from you. It turns out that Johnny determined the location of Lu Shu based on the location of the first boss he killed. It just so happened that this area was also Johnny's range of activities, so Lu Shu came up with the idea. Give me half a day and I will go over and meet you. Lu Shu smiled secretly in her heart and agreed to this condition first. He has his own plans. Okay, I'll be waiting for you at 43, 42 and I'll contact you then. Johnny said. The conversation ends there. A smile appeared at the corner of Lu Shu's mouth. How could he not see that Johnny was plotting against him? However, Lu Shu is also plotting against the other party. Coincidentally, 43, 42 is also the direction I want to go. Let's see what your plans are. If you have any unreasonable thoughts about me, you can try my Chenghong sword to see how powerful it is. Gray World. Coordinates 43, 42. In a disabled town. A figure wearing a hunter's vest was leaning against an abandoned grocery store. Johnny closed the chat window of Tree Lumbling Man and opened another chat interface. Gray Crane. Did that guy agree? Johnny. Yes. Gray Crane. Are you sure you can deal with that guy? Johnny. Don't worry. If this guy really dares to come, he is a brainless idiot. Moreover, if we join forces, there is a sacred tree master that cannot be killed. Wei He. Okay, when he comes, you should contact us brothers immediately. Communication hung up. A dark smile appeared on Johnny's lips. I thought that the sacred tree master who had won the first boss kill twice in a row was such a powerful character. It turns out that I just picked it up by luck. Hey, so what if I picked up 2 first kills? The next sacred tree is not mine. One of the rules of the sacred tree game, in the Gray World, when you meet other sacred tree masters, you can choose to form an alliance, or you can choose to kill the other party and obtain the other party's sacred tree. In fact, Johnny's team is a professional group that has formed an alliance to trap and kill other sacred tree masters. At the beginning of the Gray World, this organization was actually developing quietly in secret. They originally planned to hide deeper and wait until the organization and strength grew before planning and taking action. However, the Gray World only has 3 days left before it begins to invade the island. This change has made the team that specializes in hunting the sacred tree masters ready to move in the Gray World. And their eyes were also set on Lu Shu, who had received 2 achievement rewards for killing the boss for the first time in a row. In Johnny's eyes, Lu Shu's first kill was just a matter of luck. Without Rat Guan Gong, this guy is nothing. Again. Even if you can't deal with it yourself, plus the accomplices around you, you still can't deal with the other party alone. Johnny's smile became more and more confident, as if he had convinced the other party. Gray World. Coordinates 43, 43. Lu Shu's clone has used the teleportation array to come to the Gray World, and left the ghost town to explore a certain distance. This is a relatively safe neutral zone. There are also souls floating around. However, since it is not within the copy range, the risk factor is not high. Are we here? Use your body skills and rush on your way quickly. Lu Shu's current speed, under full acceleration, is much faster than Pikachu. This is the benefit of cultivating immortality. Takes very little time. Lu Shu came to the position of 42, 43 from 43, 43 and found the place Johnny mentioned. However, Lu Shu did not go there immediately. Find a safe and remote location. Lu Shu first depicts a teleportation array. This is equivalent to a save point. Even if the clone dies, Lu Shu can quickly teleport the next clone. I'm afraid that in the entire Divine Tree game, only Lu Shu's 100% strength clone plus teleportation can be played as a save game. For others, entering the Gray World is a scary game, but for Lu Shu, it is just an adventure game with unlimited trial and error. After doing all this, next, Lu Shu took out the Marauder's map from his hand. Do you want to consume Primary Soul X1 and display it for 1 minute? Yes. The next second, the heads of primary souls poured into the Marauder's map. Then, the parchment began to seep with dark and deep colors. Revenant, zombies, hungry ghost. Most of the monsters nearby are in the form of ink blots on the Marauder's map, constantly moving slowly on the paper. Later, Lu Shu saw 3 red names nearby, which were quite conspicuous. Johnny, Gray Crane, Crow, there is indeed a ghost. Lu Shu sneered in her heart. It was agreed that 2 people would enter the dungeon together, so where did the other 2 names on the Marauder's map come from? Obviously, Johnny wants to trick himself here, and then join forces with other accomplices to trap and kill him. The reason why Lu Shu dared to come was because he had the Marauder's map in his hand, so he could know the situation nearby in advance. Very good. I will accept your sacred tree. Cheng Hong's sword, come out. A cold light bloomed in Lu Shu's eyes. He walked towards Johnny's position quietly. In sight, a well-dressed man wearing a hunter's vest and sunglasses was leaning in the shadows, waiting. Johnny did not wait at the pre-meeting location, but found a bunker from where he could see the direction Lu Shu was coming. As long as his situation is captured, Johnny will immediately contact the other two accomplices to come and ambush him together. However, Lu Shu's field of vision reached 40 meters away. Johnny could never have imagined what kind of enemy he would face next. Sacred Tree Master, Johnny. Power, Shadow Assassin Professor. Level, Advanced Level. Talent, Shadow Fruit A Level, Assassin Fruit A Level, Double Effect S Level. Lucky, E. Spirit, C+. The special abilities of special professions are a bit interesting. Lu Shu smiled slightly in her heart. In the God Tree game, some fruit talents have a special occupation. What surprised Lu Shu was that Johnny actually had an S-level talent. However, if the opponent's level is only advanced, then he cannot be his opponent. The rainbow penetrates the sun. Suddenly, a rainbow sword light flashed towards Johnny's position. At this time, Johnny didn't know that he had been discovered by Lu Shu. His brows furrowed slightly. This guy won't let me go, right? It's already the appointed time. Why haven't you come here yet? The candle in Johnny's hand was extremely bright. The other friends in the team gave him candles, and their sensory range was a full 25 meters. This is all the lighting props that the entire team has collected together in the gray world. Johnny can be sure that when there is only one person on the other side, the range of perception cannot be larger than his. As long as he comes, he must discover the other party's location first. Suddenly, Johnny's sixth sense felt an extremely strong sense of crisis. This is the danger perception instinct brought by the shadow assassin profession. There was almost no hesitation. Johnny's body suddenly turned into a black shadow, blending into the night. However, the moment the Cheng Hong sword light struck the black shadow, Johnny's body suddenly retreated from the shadow state. The black shadow's status can only reduce the damage, but it is not immune to the damage. The Cheng Hong sword is a top-grade mysterious weapon, and its attack power alone is astonishingly high. Combined with Lu Shu's cultivation, it can hit Johnny hard in an instant. Johnny spat out blood and looked around the gray mist with a horrified expression. At this moment, he realized that he had been discovered by the other party. He's not dead yet. Lu Shu was slightly surprised. I thought this sword could kill the opponent instantly. He was a little surprised by Johnny's life-saving skills. Normally assassins should be crispy-skinned. He was hit in the front by Cheng Hong's sword chi, but he was still alive. However, Lu Shu's eyes became excited. Because next he can get the opponent's sacred tree. Lu Shu slashed out the Cheng Hong sword chi again. Johnny just recovered from the withdrawal of the black shadow, turned his head, and his expression changed instantly. A sword light occupied his entire pupil. Johnny swore angrily. This moment, he realized that Lu Shu's strength was not something he could handle. However, I didn't expect that the other party's murderous intention would be so decisive. Who the hell are these people? Since you didn't believe it from the beginning, why not just reject it directly? The co-author even came here specifically to kill people. Johnny thought he was already a ruthless person, but who knew that the other party was not only stronger, but also even more ruthless than he imagined. I really hit the mark today. Gray Crane, come to support. Johnny opened the chat box and wanted to call his teammates for help. However, the next sword light has already struck. At this time, Johnny had no means of saving his life. His mental power is only C+. If he uses a life-saving skill once, he basically cannot use it a second time in a row. Boom! The Cheng Hong sword light left a gorgeous trace in the air, but the moment it touched Johnny's chest, the energy contained in the sword light instantly pierced the opponent's heart through a deep hole. Johnny stared into the depths of the gray fog, his pupils gradually turning white, his eyes full of resentment, and he fell into a pool of blood with a face full of reluctance. Until the moment of death, Johnny could not see his opponent's face. At the beginning, he never expected such a result. Lu Shu looked cold. Killing Johnny was no different from killing a beast in his eyes. There won't be any turbulence in my heart. You have killed the Sacred Tree Master, Johnny. You have obtained Johnny's Sacred Tree and Island, and you can teleport through the Sacred Tree at any time. Sacred Tree +1. Lu Shu opens the panel. In the list of characters. Divine Tree. 1 right pointing arrow 2. Gray Crane, come to support. The moment Johnny dies. The message that popped up in front of Wei He made his body straighten instantly. Johnny, what's going on over there? Hey, are you still there? Please answer quickly when you receive it. However, after waiting a few seconds, a special reminder appears in front of you. Sacred Tree Master, Johnny, is dead. The cold reminder instantly caused cold sweat to break out on Gray Crane's back. He knew that Johnny had a way to save his life, and that he had the most searchlight sources in his team and had the strongest combat effectiveness. When Johnny discovered the enemy, he was already calling for help and support. Result: not even a few seconds have passed. The message that Johnny had been killed came through the chat window. What else could this mean? The strength of the target they found completely exceeded their expectations. Chat window. Gray Crane. Johnny is dead, hurry up and cover my retreat. Crow. How is that possible? Didn't Johnny say that his opponent was very weak and that he was a fool? Wei He. I think Johnny is the fool. The man who got the first kill of 2 dungeons in a row. If others say he picked it up by luck, then he really picked it up by luck. Forget it, it doesn't matter if he dies, I'll be there soon, it's just that he doesn't like it. Crow. Then what do we do now? Gray Crane. What else can we do? Run away as fast as you can. Go back to the organization first and report the news of Johnny's death, and then tell those crazy people about the goal of this mission. No matter what, Johnny is a member of the League of Shadows. That guy killed our people without saying a word. We must remember this revenge. It didn't take long. The crow came to the Gray Crane. Then, the figures of these 2 people turned completely translucent, and they fled madly towards the depths of the gray world. On the way, I met a few dead souls, but they were just passing by and did not attack them. There are 2 more accomplices. Lu Shu used the Marauder's map again to find the location of the other 2 people. Do you want to use Primary Soul X1 and display it for 1 minute? Yes. However, after the Marauder's map briefly displayed the names of these 2 people, they immediately disappeared. The whereabouts of these 2 people were lost. Lu Shu frowned slightly. Do they have powers that can shield their bodies? Never mind. Next time you get a chance, kill them again. Johnny's team moved cautiously. They were standing at various points, ready to wait for Johnny's signal before launching an attack. When things go wrong, the other 2 accomplices can escape in time. This is indeed not an effect that can be produced by a team of ordinary Divine Tree Masters. More like a trained organization. The field of vision in the gray world was only 40 meters. After the names of the 2 people disappeared from the Marauder's map, it was difficult for Lu Shu to find their locations, so he simply gave up. His eyes moved. In front of Lu Shu, a new Sacred Tree panel appeared. Sacred Tree, Shadow. Stage. Primary Spirit Tree. Sunlight. 120 per day, 1.2x 100. Aura. 110 per day, 1.1x 100. Product. Shadow Fruit. Production cycle. 2 days, 730/365 equals 2. Growth points. 631, 3.4x 100 equals 340 per day. Next stage. Intermediate Spiritual Tree, 3000 growth points. Isn't there an increase in the fruit of all realms? Lu Shu's eyes moved slightly. This is the first time he has obtained someone else's sacred tree. Kill the Divine Tree Master to get additional Divine Trees. However, it seems there are limitations. Since the sacred tree was planted by the Sacred Tree Master, the moment it was born, it was inseparable from the talent of the Sacred Tree Master. The Shadow Divine Tree can only produce Shadow-type fruits, but cannot produce the fruit of all realms like its own Divine Tree. And, of my own talents, only 100-fold amplification can work on the Shadow Divine Tree. Spring Resurrection is also based on the talent that Divine Trees can exert. Therefore, only Divine Trees planted by yourself can have the status of subspecies spiritual trees. However, the good news is that the shadow fruit is a professional type of fruit, and the default profession of the fruit of all realms is actually cultivating immortals. Thinking about it this way, Lu Shu can also unlock his second career through the new Shadow Divine Tree. Rounding. Isn't it equivalent to having one more talent? It seems that not only is it not a loss, it is actually a profit. After all, the talent of 100-fold amplification is still effective, and Lu Shu can quickly cultivate the Shadow Divine Tree. Islands. Lu Shu's body opened its eyes. At this time, next to the sacred tree, a golden teleportation array suddenly appeared. Sacred Tree Teleportation Array. Function. Teleport to another sacred tree island. Lu Shu stood up. The next second, the golden teleportation light curtain enveloped his body. A dark sacred tree appeared in front of Lu Shu. It's like hiding in the shadows. The sky on this island seemed to be affected by the Shadow Divine Tree, making it much darker and gloomier. Compared to Lu Shu's own natal sacred tree, the Shadow Sacred Tree is much shorter, only 4 or 5 meters high. No comparison, no harm. Compared with the sacred trees of Lu Shu, the sacred trees of other sacred tree masters are simply severely stunted. Don't worry, since I've taken over, I will definitely train you. Lu Shu said. The sacred tree seemed to have wisdom. After sensing Lu Shu's thoughts, it connected with his spiritual power. So good. Lu Shu smiled slightly. This sacred tree is smart and knows that good birds choose trees to roost in. Wrong. It seems like it was originally a tree. Without saying a word, Lu Shu took out a bag of high-grade fertilizer, returned to his sacred tree island, took out the blessed holy water, and watered the shadow sacred tree. Then, the Shadow God Tree experienced what a flying upgrade feels like. Growth point. 10.8x 100 equals 1080 per day. Production cycle. 1.3 days 735 150ths. It only takes 1 day to get results. Lu Shu smiled. Johnny's life-saving skills actually made Lu Shu a little interested. And his sacred tree is only a primary sacred tree, with insufficient mental power, and has not yet been able to exert the ability of the shadow assassin profession. However, if Lu Shu were to come, he would be able to upgrade the Shadow Divine Tree with a 100-fold increase in light speed, and coupled with his higher mental power, he would definitely be much stronger than Johnny himself. Gray World. After Lu Shu's clone killed Johnny, he did not forget to search for his body. This guy is so poor. I searched around and couldn't find anything good. Suddenly, Lu Shu found that he seemed to have touched a piece of paper in his pocket. Take it out and take a look. It's actually a map. Open the map, and a prompt pops up in front of you. Do you want to light up the map of Cursed City? It's actually a map. Lu Shu's eyes moved slightly. I immediately chose to light it up. Gray Realm map in the southwest of the living dead, an area shrouded in fog. The true identity is gradually revealed from the fog. Lu Shu focused his attention on the special points marked on the map. City of the Dead. Coordinates. 42, 42. Risk factor. B. Boss. Evil Spirit Guy. Difficult level. Items. Intermediate skills. Illustrated book. Search torch. Revenant suit. Accessories. Magic Sound. Holy Land. Coordinates. 42, 41. Risk factor. A. Boss. Magic Piano Saint. Difficult level. Items. Intermediate skill. Illustrated book. Search torch. Revenant suit. Weapon. Castlevania. Coordinates. 43, 41. Risk factor. S. Boss. Cursed Demon King. Abyss level. Items. Advanced skills. Illustrated book. Soul artifact. Search torch. Demon King suit. Demon illustrated book. Abyss level copy. Lu Shu set his sights on Castlevania. This is a dungeon that is even more advanced than the difficult level dungeon. Use the pointer of fate again. Lu Shu discovered that Castlevania was where Red Melee went when she dreamed. The situation around here is probably related to Castlevania. If that is the origin of the curse, then the risk factor must be higher than imagined. Let's explore other copies first. Lu Shu thought for a while and decided to go to the City of the Dead first. If Castlevania is really the origin of the curse, then, the emergence of the City of the Dead and the Magic Sound Holy Land may be related to Castlevania. Use physical skills. Lu Shu rushed towards the City of the Dead quickly. The position of 42, 42 is getting closer and closer. At this time, an evil spirit full of willow-like fire appeared in front of Lu Shu. Hate the undead. Type: Undead. Risk factor: B. Sensing range: 20 meters. Strength: 35. Speed: 30. Defense: 30. Immune to physical attacks. Skill: Undead Bite. Description: the painful undead left in the world due to the curse. As long as you meet this undead, it will chase you to the ends of the earth. Changhong's sword chi. Lu Shu swept towards the evil spirit with a sword light. After being hit, the evil spirit instantly turned into a cloud of gray mist and dispersed. My sword energy doesn't seem to be an ordinary physical attack. Lu Shu's expression was slightly startled. Originally, undead were immune to most physical attacks. However, it seems that his Changhong sword chi will not be immune. Is it because of cultivating immortality? It turns out that spiritual energy also has a restraining effect on these evil spirits. In the novels I read, Taoist priests exorcise ghosts. Cultivation of immortals should be much more advanced than Taoist priests. Lu Shu suddenly realized that the reason why his spiritual energy fruit was so difficult to sell on the trading interface was because in the entire Divine Tree game, he was the only one to obtain the profession of cultivating immortals. Professional talents are generally not repeated. Therefore, Lu Shu got the profession of cultivating immortals, so others would not be able to cultivate immortals. Cultivating immortals really has a bright future. Lu Shu's eyes lit up and she smiled. You killed the hateful undead and obtained primary soul X1. Should we collect its soul breath and unlock the disguise? Yes. The next second, in Lu Shu's disguise skill panel, there is an option to disguise, hateful soul. It turns out that you have to kill the target before you can disguise. Moreover, it seems that only this kind of monster can be disguised. Neither the Divine Tree Master nor the boss can disguise it. But it's enough for sneaking. Lu Shu planned to test the effectiveness of the camouflage skill on the spot. You have consumed primary soul X1, pretending to be a hating undead. Duration: 1 hour. The next second, Lu Shu's body completely turned into the form of an undead. He discovered that he could still float in midair. Moreover, the movement speed has not decreased at all compared to when it was not in the camouflage state. Tip: a hateful undead appears 20 meters ahead. Lu Shu's eyes lit up, and she flew towards the hateful undead that appeared nearby, ready to try the effect of camouflage. As expected, when he got close to this hateful undead, the other party didn't react at all. Lu Shu came behind it and suddenly stabbed it in with a sword. The hateful undead looked at Lu Shu in shock. It can't understand this kind of person at all, so why is it attacking itself? And, still stabbed in the back. Don't talk about martial ethics. You killed the hateful undead, and the primary soul +1. After Lu Shu launched the attack, his form changed back to its original appearance. Will launching an attack exit the disguise state? After trying it out, Lu Shu figured out how to use the disguise skill. You must first kill a monster of the same type, and then you can consume the primary soul and continue to disguise yourself. But if it launches an attack, it will exit the disguise state. Use primary soul again. Lu Shu entered the disguise state. There are too many undead in the city of the undead. Almost every distance of less than 100 meters, there is an evil spirit. There is no warning in the movement trajectory of the undead. Even if Lu Shu's perception range reaches 40 meters, they will suddenly come back to kill him. Even if you kill these undead, you won't get much oil or water. In order to avoid unnecessary fighting, Lu Shu maintained a disguise, which could save a lot of trouble. You only need to find an undead to perform a righteous backstab every hour to replenish the lost primary soul. It takes about a day. Almost every corner of the entire city of the dead can be explored. Sacred Tree Island. Lu Shu's true body continues to practice. The high-grade spiritual energy fruit in the body has been almost absorbed. Pick a few more for battery life. Boom. Finally, he broke through to the acquired 5th level. Lu Shu felt that there was a big difference between the acquired realm and the Qi training realm. If we reach the Shantian realm, the gap will be even greater. Take a deep breath. Lu Shu realizes the importance of cultivation. From now on, let alone supernatural powers, just the realm of immortal cultivation and the Changhong sword can sweep away monsters in the gray world. If his mental power were further improved and he had all kinds of superpowers, he would be invincible. Ding. You have obtained a shadow fruit. Are you mature? Lu Shu opened her eyes and stood up. Teleportation array through the sacred tree. Soon, his figure appeared near the shadow divine tree. A shadow-like fruit grows on a tree. System, can shadow fruit grow subspecies spiritual trees? Lu Shu thought about it and asked. Different sacred trees are incompatible. The system said. Lu Shu could only shrug. He was not surprised by this result. But, anyway, I have 100-fold increase, and with high-grade fertilizer, my production speed is fast enough. Lu Shu swallowed the shadow fruit. You have awakened a new profession, Shadow Assassin. Profession. Name, Shadow Assassin. Level, Apprentice level. Attributes, Attack power +2, Speed +10, Dodge +5. Skill, Shadow movement speed LV1 transform into a shadow, movement speed +20. The moment you awaken to your profession, Lu Shu suddenly found that his body became much lighter. Shadow movement speed. Try using the Shadow Assassin's skills. His body immediately turned into a shadow, and his movement speed was also increased. My Shadow Assassin level is too low now. The first fruit can only unlock the profession. However, the production cycle of the sacred tree is very fixed, and as the level increases, the fruit yield will increase and the cycle will shorten. As long as you cultivate it and cooperate with my 100-fold increase, you will be able to upgrade soon. Lu Shu opens the panel. Product, Shadow Fruit. Production cycle, 1 day, 550/550ths. It should be similar to swallowing a ninja fruit. Consecutively eating fruits of the same type can enhance your abilities and upgrade them. The Shadow Assassin profession has an additional speed bonus, can also shield one's own breath, and increase dodge ability to avoid damage. When you advance to a higher level in the future, you may be able to unlock unique attack abilities. The profession of Shadow Assassin is a bit different from cultivating immortals. Lu Shu's cultivation of immortality only shows one realm, without such fancy panels. Moreover, the difficulty of practicing is obviously much higher. The profession of cultivating immortals from the fruit of all realms should be the most unique profession, right? The corners of Lu Shu's mouth curled up slightly. Cultivation of immortals is different from other professions. Although the difficulty is higher, the upper limit is quite high. Just the acquired state can easily kill Johnny. If he breaks through to a higher innate realm, Lu Shu feels that his combat ability will undergo a qualitative transformation. Countdown to Grey Realm Invasion, 2 days. A translucent red font suddenly appeared in front of Lu Shu. Are there only 2 days left? Time was running out. After understanding the abilities of the Shadow Assassin, Lu Shu immediately sat down to practice. 2 days may seem like a small amount, but for Lu Shu, there is a lot more room for improvement than others. Ding. You have obtained a heavenly spirit fruit. Ding. You have obtained an innate level skill fruit. Ding. You have obtained an innate level martial skill fruit. 3 consecutive prompts made Lu Shu open her eyes in surprise. Finally come. Coincidentally, after practicing to the 5th level of the day after tomorrow, Lu Shu has also reached the bottleneck period. The advanced spiritual energy fruits are somewhat insufficient. First, Lu Shu first buried the Tianling fruit in the soil. Suddenly, a Tianling fruit tree rises from the ground. Tianling fruit tree. Variety, subspecies spirit tree. Product, fruit of life. Period, 0.6 days, 365/550ths. Production times remaining, 1. Different from advanced spiritual energy fruits. Tianling fruit can only be produced once. However, Lu Shu can easily guess that the Tianling fruit is a fruit suitable for the innate realm, and its efficacy is definitely much better than the advanced spiritual energy fruit. The period of waiting for Tianling fruit to reach its production cycle. Lu Shu first ate the innate level skill fruit. At the acquired state, the original skills are no longer enough. Eat the fruits of the exercise quickly. The next second, a new skill called All Spirits Manual appeared in Lu Shu's mind. Run the All Spirits Manual. A burst of Uzumaki suddenly set off around Lu Shu, quickly absorbing the surrounding spiritual energy. What a fast training speed. Feeling the spiritual energy pouring into her body, Lu Shu's eyes revealed a bit of surprise. He didn't expect that after changing the technique, the efficiency of absorbing spiritual energy would be so greatly improved. Swallow the advanced spiritual energy fruit. This moment, Lu Shu no longer has a training bottleneck. Advanced Reiki fruit is ready to be taken at will. In order to improve his strength quickly, Lu Shu almost threw the remaining fruits into his mouth. Using the innate level skills and combining them with advanced spiritual energy fruits has miraculous effects, just like turning on a plug-in, without any bottlenecks. The gate of cultivation was completely released, and spiritual energy poured into the body like a flood. Boom, boom, Lu Shu's realm has improved rapidly. The 6th level the day after tomorrow. The 7th level the day after tomorrow. The 8th level the day after tomorrow. It was not until the 9th level of the day after tomorrow that the breakthrough gradually stopped. The effects of advanced spiritual energy fruits are almost there. Next, by slowly consolidating, Lu Shu will be able to break through the acquired 9th level naturally. There is only the last hurdle left before the Shantian realm. Next, Lu Shu swallowed the fruits of the innate level skills. You have obtained the best innate martial arts, Star Shift. Suddenly, a mysterious martial arts movement technique appeared in Lu Shu's mind. No need to learn, you can use it immediately. Lu Shu tried to use Star Shift. Throw out a palm. The mighty spiritual energy in his body was like an overwhelming force, sweeping everything within 100 meters radius. Wherever it passes, it will be destroyed. Strong. Lu Shu's eyes lit up slightly. The innate martial arts skills are no less than supernatural powers. I am still in the acquired state for the time being and cannot display the full power of this martial skill, but the destructive power is already considerable. By the way, the next fruit. Lu Shu opened the Sacred Tree panel. Product: Devil Fruit. Production cycle: 2 days 1100/550ths. Another Devil Fruit. Lu Shu's eyes lit up instantly. This means that he will receive powerful combat power blessings again. World Public Screen. At all members. Attention everyone. If you are invited to form a team next, don't agree casually. Recently, some Sacred Tree Masters have deceived lone Sacred Tree Masters into forming a team in the name of inviting them to form a team. However, they actually want to kill people and seize trees. If you still want to form a team in the future, it's best to clearly identify each other's identity. A player with the ID, Lu Feng, suddenly at all members and exposed the behavior in the gray world in the group chat box. These words instantly attracted the attention of others. These people are so disgusting. The gray world will start to invade the island in less than 2 days. You said these people are almost dead, what else can't be done? Yesterday, someone invited me to form a team, saying that there was some dungeon that we could conquer together. Fortunately, I thought of it and didn't agree. It's really scary to think about it now. Wise person upstairs, this kind of thing is all a lie. If you really believe it, you will be dead. I had a friend 2 days ago who said that he had an opportunity to team up with others to hunt for treasure in the gray world. But when I asked him about his situation today, the chat box showed that he was dead. It turned out that he was killed by this group of people. These demons must be captured, otherwise how can we form a team to explore in the gray world in the future? You are too naive. In the gray world, the rules of killing the Sacred Tree Master can obtain the opponent's Sacred Tree. This game has formulated the rules. Killing is also a way to become stronger. How can you stop it? At this time, everyone realized that the game in the gray world is not only about forming alliances, but also looking for opportunities to kill other Sacred Tree Masters and obtain the other party's Sacred Tree. Although many people angrily denounced this kind of thing, however, no matter what they said, it was of no avail. There is no judge in the Sacred Tree game. Even if you kill someone, you can only complain about it in the chat box. However, after you kill someone, you get a new Sacred Tree and happily return to your own island. The next time they met, the other party was even stronger. Even if you want to punish this kind of devil, if you can't defeat it, you will only be killed. A considerable number of people remained silent. In fact, this exposure will not only make the Sacred Tree Masters in the gray world be more vigilant. On the contrary, it may make many desperate Tree Masters know that there is this crooked way to go. At that time, it was just a game where people killed each other. Lu Shu opened the World Public Screen and saw these messages. However, he wouldn't say much about it. In the Grey World game, strength is everything. As long as you have enough strength, even if you encounter someone who wants to trick you, you can easily fight back. Just like when he dealt with Johnny before. You have to become stronger. Lu Shu's eyes flashed with light. At this moment, an invitation suddenly popped up in front of me. The Sacred Tree Master, Mu Tingfeng, invites you to conduct a transaction. At this critical moment, Mu Tingfeng actually chose to trade with herself. This was something Lu Shu did not expect. Except. Chat window. Mu Tingfeng asked, do you have any extra fruit? Tree lover. The more delicious one. Mu Tingfeng. Yes. Lu Shu was speechless. At this juncture, Mu Tingfeng still wants to eat his own fruit. Mu Tingfeng explained. The more delicious fruit can quickly restore my lost mental power. Lu Shu was slightly startled. I didn't expect that high-level spiritual energy fruits could supplement others' spiritual power. Maybe it's because you feel so good after eating it, and you feel more energetic all of a sudden. Lu Shu asked. Okay, what are you going to exchange for? Mu Tingfeng said. I can use the information about the upcoming invasion of the Grey World to exchange it with you. Lu Shu frowned slightly. How did you know about the invasion of the Grey World? To be honest, if it weren't for the fact that the other party was an old customer, Lu Shu would have suspected that the other party was a liar. But after thinking about it, I realized that my spiritual energy fruit was not that helpful to others. Considering the identity and strength shown by the other party, there was no need to use such low-level deception. Mu Tingfeng said, this is my sacred tree ability. Tree Raider. It's interesting, but how do you prove it? Mu Tingfeng. I saw when you killed the boss for the first time, 100 yellow-skinned rats appeared, and their skill was to release thunder and lightning. Lu Shu was suddenly shocked. He could be sure that no one would be around him when he killed the boss. Those sacred tree masters I met by chance were scared away as soon as they saw Pikachu. Not only could Mu Tingfeng accurately tell the number of Pikachus to be 100, but he also told the scene when he killed the boss. This shows that her divine tree ability is indeed extraordinary. Lu Shu asked, your power is to see anything you want to know. That's okay to understand. Mu Tingfeng did not answer this question directly. Saying this sentence is the same as not saying it. What it actually means is, guess it yourself. I won't tell you if you guess it right. Lu Shu thought for a moment. He felt that Mu Tingfeng's ability was not that simple. Perhaps, he could actually predict the future. No wonder this woman is so extraordinary. The ability to predict the future is indeed heaven-defying. Okay, I can exchange it with you, but I need to hear the information you said first and confirm whether it is true or not before I exchange it with you. Lu Shu said. Mu Tingfeng obviously didn't bother to care about this, and directly talked about the following information. When the Grey World invades, surrounding monsters will emerge from the Grey World and attack your territory. This range will probably span about 1 coordinate. In other words, with your island as the center, monsters within 1 coordinate of the radius will emerge from the Grey World and attack you. Lu Shu said nothing. In fact, even without prediction skills, he could still guess the invasion of the Grey World, and this is the approximate scene. However, what Mu Tingfeng said next surprised Lu Shu. However, there is another extremely special feature, or rule, about the invasion of the Grey World. If you explore far in the Grey World, then wherever you go, all the monsters in that area will come and attack your island. The number of monsters depends on the range you have explored. Of course, if you kill the monsters or boss in advance when exploring the Grey World, that area has become a safe zone, and no monsters will invade again. This information made Lu Shu look slightly startled. Etc. My clone has visited both the Magic Sound Holy Land and the City of the Dead. Will there be 2 hard-level dungeons invading my island next? In this period of time, Lu Shu's clone left in the Grey World has completed the exploration of 2 copies. I originally went to get information. The result was unexpected. The Grey Realm invasion has such a deceptive setting. When Mu Tingfeng saw that Lu Shu didn't reply for a long time, she thought it was because he didn't believe it and said, if you don't believe it, you can wait until the Grey World invades before you come to trade with me. When the time comes, if it proves that what I said is right, you must give me 2. If you are still alive. Lu Shu placed the advanced spiritual energy fruit on the trading interface. From the details of the conversation, it can be heard that Mu Yutingfang did not deliberately lie to himself, otherwise ordinary people would not be able to make up such a thing. Seal the deal. I have one more question. Lu Shu said suddenly. Mu Yutingfang, what's the problem? Tree Master. There is a group of organizations whose goal is to hunt down other sacred tree masters. Do you know anything about them? Mu Yutingfang was slightly startled. She didn't expect that Lu Shu even knew this. This organization is called the Dark Knight Alliance. The leader of the organizers, his ID is Dark Knight. According to my investigation, he awakened 3S level talents and found many masters to establish this organization. The Dark Knight Alliance doesn't just kill tree masters when they see them. They have a professional intelligence organization and will only find talented tree masters to kill them. Because even if you get extra sacred trees, if the power of the sacred trees is not strong, there is no point in killing them. Another point, obtaining additional sacred trees does not come without any price. This means that when facing the invasion of the Grey World in the future, we will have to face double the invading monsters. Once we can't defend it, the best situation is that one of the sacred trees is gone, and the worst situation is that both the human and the tree are empty. Lu Shu suddenly realized this. I see. If you look at it this way, according to the rules of the Divine Tree game, the water is really deep enough. On the surface, killing other sacred tree masters seems to be the fastest shortcut. However, doing so will also come at a high price. Killing other sacred tree masters may not be better than forming an alliance. Once you are discovered by others and deliberately trap and kill other sacred tree masters, basically no one will form an alliance with you. Instead, I will try to kill you. If the quality of the sacred tree obtained is too poor, it will be a very disadvantageous thing for the sacred tree master himself. Therefore, choosing the path of hunting is also a path of no return. Mu Yutingfang said, "Are you afraid of those guys?" Lu Shu smiled and said, "How can you be afraid? If they come one by one, I will kill one." Mu Yutingfang looked at the news in front of her and couldn't help but shake her head and smile. Don't be brave. Those guys are very strong and have a professional team. Ordinary sacred tree masters fighting alone are no match for them. Lu Shu did not answer this sentence. Fight alone. He has an army of 100 Pikachus. Moreover, the next 100 life fruits are about to hatch under the nourishment of the sacred tree. It's really hard to say who will gang up on whom. Communication ended. Mu Yutingfang frowned slightly, and suddenly had a very strange illusion. It seemed that it was indeed a very simple matter for the Shuren to kill the Dark Knight Alliance. This feeling made Mu Yutingfang feel a little ridiculous. Do you want to activate that ability? To be honest, Mu Yutingfang wanted to see how Lu Shu's island was developing now. But then she shook her head and gave up the idea. There is only one day left, and the invasion of the Grey World will begin. At this time, every drop of mental energy is extremely valuable. Let's talk about innocuous things later. Should we let him join Muyu Pavilion? This thought flashed through Mu Yutingfang's mind. Never mind. Muyu Pavilion's requirement is to have at least one S-level talent. Let him survive this invasion of the Grey World first. In fact, Lu Shu got the first kill of the boss twice in a row. Mu Yutingfang can be sure that the scope of his exploration is definitely not small. But, this guy's first kill of the boss happened to be picked up by luck. In this case, it is very uncertain whether we can survive this invasion of the Grey World. If Lu Shu dies, Mu Yutingfang will probably be sad for a while, right? If he dies, there won't be much good fruit to eat in the rest of his life. Grey World. Coordinates 42. Lu Shu's clone stopped. Castlevania cannot be entered for the time being. According to what Mu Yutingfang said, the gray areas that have been explored will become enemies when invading the dungeon. I don't know the difficulty of the Abyss level dungeon yet, so don't act rashly yet. There seems to be some turmoil in the Grey World recently. Although the sensing range is only 40 meters. But Lu Shu, with her strong mental power, could still keenly sense that there was something abnormal in the surrounding environment. Violent vibrations were heard from time to time in the Grey World. Faintly, there was a terrifying roar roaring out. Like an auditory hallucination, illusory, yet extremely real. There is still one day left before the Grey Realm invades. At this point in time, Lu Shu should be one of the few sacred tree masters who can still explore the Grey World. How about we see what it's like here when the Grey Realm invades? Lu Shu sat down cross-legged. He has an opportunity that others don't have, to use the clone's ability to not be afraid of death to see what it's like inside the Grey Mist when it invades. Ding. Your Tianling fruit tree has reached the production cycle, Tianling fruit plus 100. Ding. You have obtained a shadow fruit. Coming. Lu Shu looked shocked. He looked towards the Tianling fruit tree. The heavenly spirit fruit looks very similar to the advanced spiritual energy fruit, but it seems to contain the laws of heaven, and its almost translucent shape makes it look even more unique. Lu Shu immediately stepped forward. Gently pick off one of the heavenly spirit fruits and swallow it. That moment, the majestic spiritual energy contained in the Tianling fruit washed over Lu Shu's body instantly. No, it's more than that. This fruit seems to have the effect of cleansing the whole body, making Lu Shu's talent for cultivating immortals even higher. Innate spiritual roots. Lu Shu suddenly opened her eyes. He didn't expect that the effect of Tianling fruit would be so heaven-defying. You can even open your own innate spiritual roots. Boom. This moment, the spiritual energy all over Lu Shu's body swept wildly in all directions. Run the All Spirits Manual. With the help of the heaven-defying effect of the heavenly spirit fruit, Lu Shu transcended the 9th level of acquired heaven and instantly entered the innate realm. What a powerful strength! Lu Shu took a deep breath and felt the changes in her body. The transition from acquired to innate is a transformation of the level of life. Entering the innate realm is the true entry level for cultivating immortals. That moment, Lu Shu felt that her body was like a bridge connecting heaven and earth, and her spiritual energy could be captured at will. His body jumped slightly and was suspended in midair. Fly in the air. This is the privilege of the innate realm. Open the character panel. Figure. Divine Tree Master. Tree Raider. Powers. Resonance, Teleportation, Clone Technique. Skills. Beginner Carpentry, Intermediate Miner, Advanced Decomposition, Advanced Camouflage. Cultivation Level. Shantian First Level. Talents. 100 times increase SSS-Level, Fruit of All Realms, SSS-Level, Spring Resurgence, SSS-Level. Luck. E. Spirit. A. Sacred Tree. 2, My spirit has reached level A. This moment, Lu Shu can sense the slightest movement within a kilometer radius. The improvement of his mental power allows him to even multitask. It's not a problem to control 3 clones at the same time and resonate with Pikachu. Next, Lu Shu passed the teleportation array and headed to the Shadow Divine Tree. A new shadow fruit has matured. Step forward. Swallow this shadow fruit. You have swallowed the shadow fruit, and the Shadow Assassin's level has been upgraded to the advanced level. The next second, Lu Shu's career panel was immediately updated. Profession. Name. Shadow Assassin. Level. Advanced level. Attributes. Attack power plus 20, speed plus 50, dodge plus 15. Skill. Shadow movement speed LV1 transform into a shadow, movement speed plus 20. Integrate into the night LV1 in the dark, blend into the night and be immune to 80% of physical damage. Shadow Escape LV1 teleport within a range of 50 meters. Available skill points. 3, You entered the class instantly. Lu Shu was a little surprised. Isn't this too easy? All it takes is 1 fruit to advance to the next level. No wonder Johnny can reach the advanced level. Upgrading other professions is much easier than cultivating immortals. Sure enough, although cultivating immortals has the highest upper limit, it is also the most difficult profession. Lu Shu shifted his attention to skill points. 3 skill points, just 3 of his own skills. First upgrade. Let's try the method of equalizing the rain and dew, see which skill has the best upgrade effect, and focus on that one in the future. Ding. Your shadow movement speed skill level has been increased to LV2. Ding. Your shadow blends into the night and your level is raised to LV2. Ding. Your shadow escape level has been increased to LV2. Skill. Shadow movement speed LV2 transform into a shadow, movement speed plus 50. Integrate into the night LV2 in the dark, blend into the night, immune to 80% of physical damage, movement speed plus 10. Shadow Escape LV2 perform a teleport within a range of 100 meters. Lu Shu's expression moved slightly. The improvement effect of shadow movement speed and shadow escape is better. Blending into the night is generally used to save lives, but the percentage of immunity to damage has not been increased. It only increases the movement speed a little, which is relatively useless. Let's focus on the other two skills from now on. Increasing movement speed and teleportation distance are both more useful. One can be used to run the map, and the other is useful in combat for attacking or dodging attacks. His cultivation level was upgraded to Innate, and he also gained an additional profession. Lu Shu's abilities were improved in all aspects. Check out the countdown. Grey World invasion time remaining, 1 day. At this time, through the perception of the clone, Lu Shu noticed that strange movements began to come from the Grey World. Grey World. Lu Shu's clone sensed a terrifying movement coming from all around. The entire Grey World began to shake violently. World public screen. Are there any brothers in the Grey World? There's a big earthquake here. How dare you upstairs to be in the Grey World with only 1 day left? I don't quite believe it. What he said is true. I am also in the Grey World. It is so terrible here. Ding. Divine Tree Master, Lu Yong, uploaded a memory video. Mom, how did the Grey World become like this? It should be that when the invasion of the Grey World is approaching, strange variables will occur in the Grey World. Brothers who are still in the Grey World, please return to the island quickly. If you continue to flow, you may die in an instant. Already running back desperately. Why didn't this crappy game tell me earlier that when the Grey Realm invaded, this place would be like this? If I had known it, I wouldn't have explored it. God, please bless me to survive. Stop praying, there is no God here, just ask for blessings. Some sacred tree masters who were still staying in the Grey World were so scared that they lost their souls when they sensed the movement of the Grey World. When the Grey World invades, if you stay in the Grey World, you might encounter something more terrifying than a monster. No sacred tree master dared to stay in the Grey World. Except for Lu Shu's clone. He stood calmly, waiting for the moment when the Grey World invaded, to see with his own eyes what this place would become. Almost a day passed. Ding. Your life fruit has been hatched X100. Get the magic cat. Yumi X100. Yumi. Type. Magic cat. Superpowers, consecutive hits and blocks, fish-catching missiles, possession of Yumi, strong energy, the final chapter of the grimoire. Physique, D. Speed, C. Spirit, A. Overall potential, A. Ability, continuous hit and block. When Yumi attacks the enemy, she will gain a magic shield to offset physical attacks and mental attacks, as well as various negative skills. Fishing missile. Consume mental energy to summon a flying fish missile that can be controlled and tracked, causing blast damage within a certain range. Yumi possession. Yumi can possess a teammate, obtaining a state that cannot be selected, and providing attribute bonuses and ability increases to teammates until Yumi voluntarily quits or the teammate dies. High energy. Yumi can provide a large amount of treatment and recovery effects to possessed teammates, and gain a temporary movement speed bonus. The final chapter of the grimoire. Yumi summons the grimoire book and releases mysterious forbidden magic, causing a wide range of magic damage. Click, click. The golden fruit slowly hatched into a strange-looking cat. It's like stepping out of the magical world. Just getting close. A magic cat suddenly flew into Lu Shu's face. Before he could react, the Yumi successfully completed its possession and turned into a translucent shadow, floating behind him. At the same time, Lu Shu discovered that her mental power had increased to A+ level. Moreover, other attributes have also changed. This is the most powerful auxiliary pet. Lu Shu smiled in her heart. Yumi is a pretty versatile pet. Not only can it possess itself, but it is also very aggressive. It can fight, it can heal, and its shield can also avoid damage. Although it cannot be said to be invincible, it is very versatile and cannot find any faults. And, Yumi's innate mental power is still very high. Although his physique and speed are a bit inferior, Yumi can possess Pikachu. In this way, all the weaknesses are made up for. Meow, meow, meow. While Lu Shu was thinking, all the 99 Yumis born behind came running over. However, when we found Lu Shu, he already had a Yumi on his back. Meow. The other Yumi screamed with jealousy. This hateful guy. He actually got there first. Why? Why is it the only one that can enter the owner's body? Lu Shu smiled. He stepped forward and gave each of these magical cats a headbutt to kill. Really? After being touched on the head, Yumi suddenly became much more obedient and calm. It is indeed the most useful pet killing skill. Lu Shu finally touched the head of the last magic cat. At this time, boom, suddenly there was lightning and thunder in the sky. The breath of a storm came with a damp wind. The nearby gray fog moved closer to the center of the island. Above the sky, my vision is covered by gray fog. The entire island became dark. Are you coming? Now, Lu Shu opens the panel. Countdown to Gray World Invasion, Day 0. When the Gray World begins to invade the island. What seems to have happened in the real Gray World? Lu Shu quickly switched her vision to the clone. Gray World. Lu Shu's clone stared around warily. At this time, a gray sandstorm suddenly swept over. So fast that I can barely react. When the sandstorm came into contact with Lu Shu's clone, it instantly shattered it and turned it into a ball of gray mist. At the same time, Sacred Tree Island. Lu Shu's body opened his eyes and felt a slight shock to his spirit. After the clone was destroyed, it still had some impact on his body. But this clone was the clone that Lu Shu differentiated before he was promoted to Shantian, so the impact was not very big. After all, Lu Shu became stronger again later on. Really, when the Gray World began to invade, unknown changes were also taking place in the Gray World. Lu Shu's expression looked a little solemn. Not only was the clone destroyed, he also sensed that the teleportation array he left behind was also destroyed. The gray sandstorm swept everything away, and any existence left in the Gray World would be ruthlessly wiped out. No one knows what the place will look like the next time they enter the Gray World. The next second, in front of Lu Shu, lines of text suddenly appeared. The invasion of the Gray World is about to begin. All Sacred Tree Masters, please read the following rules carefully. 1. The invasion of the Gray World will last for 3 days. During this period, the sacred tree will not be able to grow. 2. Every day the monsters will be stronger than the last day. 3. Depending on the exploration scope of the Divine Tree Master, the level and number of monsters invading the Gray World will also be adjusted. 4. Kill the invading monsters and you will get points. 5. The higher the points the Sacred Tree Master obtains and the higher the ranking, he will receive huge rewards after successfully resisting the invasion. When this rule is announced. World Public Screen. What? I just went to the Gray Realm for a run around, and you told me that the wider the area you explore, the more monsters you will encounter. What the hell? What kind of broken game is this? Lousy won't play anymore. RNM will refund the money. Who said that we should form a team to explore the Gray World? I will be the first one not to kill you. What are you arguing about? Didn't I see what Gray World said? The more monsters you kill, the richer the rewards you will get. Then you have to survive. Sorry, I have nothing to fear after awakening 2 A-level talents and 1 B-level talent. Hey, my supernatural profession has also been upgraded to a certain level. I just have itchy hands. I originally wanted to go to the Gray World to find some zombies for surgery, but I didn't expect them to come to my door. Stinky boss, you can kill indiscriminately, but what about us little fools? Listening to the words of these big guys, I deeply feel that the world between people is so different. Facing the rules of the Gray World invasion. Someone is afraid. Someone is excited. Someone is calm. Someone is angry. The various states of all living beings are vividly displayed in the face of this life and death test. Ranking list. Lu Shu showed a smile. As a strong man, this game certainly cannot be a survival game for him. The eyes of the strong will only be placed on the strong at the same level. Lu Shu began to look forward to killing all the invading monsters to see how many points he could get. His clone, through the Divine Tree teleportation array, guards the island of the Dark Knight Divine Tree. During the invasion of the Gray World, the Divine Tree teleportation array was still intact and could be used at will. Waited quietly for a moment. In front of me, a prompt finally popped up. The invasion of the Gray World has begun. The next second. In the Gray World around the island, dense zombies emerged. Has it started yet? Lu Shu's eyes narrowed slightly. At the same time, a points panel appeared in front of him. Defense points. 0. The zombie army first hit Lu Shu's defense line. In the blink of an eye, these zombies were all crowded together, piled up into a hill, and blocked outside the ore defense line. However, due to the large number of zombies, they kept climbing up the wall with the help of their companions' bodies. Endless zombies began to cross the defense line of the ore one after another, and launched an attack towards the sacred tree in the center of the island. Eat them, Lu Shu ordered towards the piranha army. Behind the ore defense line, waiting for the zombies is an army of more than 2,000 piranha flowers. These zombies had just climbed over from the ore defense line, and when they landed on the ground, the first thing I saw was the endless piranha flowers. The piranha slowly walked towards the zombie. Open your mouth wide. Bored in one bite. Piranha can eat 4 or 5 zombies at a time. You kill a zombie, defense point +1. You kill a zombie, defense point +1. With the ore defense line, the number of zombies that can attack behind the ore defense line every minute is about 1,000. But there are too many zombies to count. Are there too many zombies attacking my island? Lu Shu frowned slightly. He switched to the island of the Shadow God Tree to watch the clones' situation. Turn out, the number of zombies coming to attack Lu Shu from Shadow Island has decreased a lot. Compared with the dense zombie army on his own Divine Tree Island, the small number of Shadow Divine Trees, relying on Lu Shu's clones, can kill everyone there, without the help of the piranha army at all. Isn't this gap too big? Through comparison, Lu Shu began to wonder how many times his test was that of others. Johnny's exploration range should not be too small. But compared to myself, the scale of the Grey Realm invasion is not on the same level at all. If it were an ordinary Sacred Tree Master, the gap would probably be even greater. However, not only did Lu Shu not have any fear, she even became excited. Every second, a huge amount of defense points are accumulated into his own panel. These points will be rewards in the future. Although the zombie army seems endless, the ore built by Lu Shu blocks the scale of the zombie invasion. With this line of defense, all the zombies in the Grey World cannot attack the island at the first time, but have to climb up one by one. In this way, the enemy's offensive was reduced a lot. The piranha can come down and swallow one, eat and digest at the same time. And in the center of the island, Pikachu and Yumi were still standing beside Lu Shu, ready to take action at any time. These are Lu Shu's real combat power. Piranha is just the most basic defensive force. But the defense line composed of more than 2,000 piranha flowers has made it difficult for zombies from the Grey World to invade. In front of you. Kill zombies and continuously generate defense points. All points from the 2 islands will be pulled into Lu Shu's defense points. When opening the panel again. Defense points, 12,345. Good guy, it's already over 10,000. Lu Shu couldn't help but sigh. After only a short time, the defense points reached more than 10,000. More than 10,000 points were earned from my own island. Only the remaining more than 1,000 came from the island of the Shadow God Tree. Lu Shu estimated that other Sacred Tree Masters might not have more than 10,000 points after 3 days of defense. And this is just Lu Shu's first wave of defense. After half a day, the island's defense battlefield. The 2,000 piranha flowers have almost reached a saturated state. But the scale of the zombies that invaded from the Grey World has not decreased at all, but has increased in number. At this time, a new monster panel popped up in front of Lu Shu. Giant Zombie. Category: Living Dead. Risk Factor: C+. Sensing Range: 10 meters. Strength: 30. Speed: 5. Defense: 30. Skill: Destroy, outside the ore defense line. A 5-meter tall, giant-like zombie began to invade the island. Lu Shu has only seen zombies and large zombies. The risk factor is less than sea level. No matter how many there are, they are just cannon fodder. However, the danger factor of giant zombies is much higher. Although they move extremely slowly, they are huge, powerful, and capable of destruction. Boom! When the giant zombie punched the ore defense line, cracks appeared on the surface. Pikachu, come on! Lu Shu sent out Pikachu without hesitation. Even if the piranha can eat zombies, if you encounter a giant zombie, it is one thing whether you can eat it or not. If you meet it, you will be trampled to death by the opponent. Original. He wanted Pikachu to wait until a little later before appearing. But now in this situation, Pikachu has to be sent out in advance. Meow, Yumi called out. Hundreds of Yumi, begging to fight. Seeing these cute little guys so full of fighting spirit, Lushu also laughed. You possess Pikachu first. Don't use other skills yet. Conserve as much mental power as possible. You will need it in the subsequent battles. Meow, Yumi agreed obediently, and then flew to each Pikachu one after another. At the same time, Pikachu's attributes have also been temporarily strengthened. Pikachu, type, Pokemon, power, 100,000 volts, shock fruit. Physique, B, speed, A+, spirit, A+, overall potential, S+, pickup, after the attributes are strengthened. All the Pikachus looked very excited. Sounds like yellow lightning instantly traveled from the center of the island to the battlefield outside the defense line. 100,000 volts. At that moment, a bolt of thunder and lightning circled around the island like a river made of thunder. It was as if there was a huge thunder and lightning python, opening its ferocious mouth, surrounding the island, tearing apart all the zombies. That moment, the violent explosions of countless electric currents resounded on the ground outside the ore. Sizzle, sizzle. All zombies, regardless of size, will be killed instantly without exception after encountering such a terrifying lightning attack. You killed a large zombie, defense points +5. You killed the giant zombie, defense points +50. The prompts popping up in front of you are densely packed. I can't see it at all. He simply turned off the prompt and immersed himself in the killing. And the island of the Shadow God Tree. Lu Shu's clone opens and closes greatly. Cheng Hong's sword chi frantically kills all kinds of attacking zombies. Every sword goes down. All the zombies that rushed over were cut into two halves. Although there is only one clone of Lu Shu left here, this battlefield seems too relaxed. It doesn't take much spiritual energy to repel all attacks. All these dead monsters were turned into defense points. Lu Shu's defense point value is also skyrocketing crazily. After a day of fighting. Finally, the zombie army like a wave of ink gradually stopped. The number of invasions is also gradually decreasing. Leave the rest of the enemies to the piranha. Pikachu and Yumi quickly return to the sacred tree to rest, replenish their consumed mental energy, and prepare for the next battle. Lu Shu thought about it. Open the panel and take a look. Defense points, 102,210. Good guy. It has actually exceeded 100,000 points. When did I kill so many? Lu Shu said in surprise. He didn't even know how many zombies had died in his hands on the battlefield. When the last zombie falls, several prompts popped up in front of me. You successfully resisted the attack on the first day. Reward Advanced Skills Illustrated Book, Cooking. Reward Searchlight Fire X10. Reward Revenant Armor, Gold Level X1. Haute Cuisine. Lu Shu was a little stunned. Is there such an advanced skill? Would you like to learn haute cuisine? Yes. Lu Shu chose to study without hesitation. Since you have something as a gift, why not learn from it? Skill. Cooking. Level. Advanced. Function. Process food type ingredients, and you will have the cooking skills of a Michelin 3-star chef. Open the warehouse. When Lu Shu took out the pork, a list of recipes was displayed in front of him. Braised pork, black pepper pork chop, jam pork. Since Lu Shu's only ingredients are pork for the time being, the menu options are also very limited. If you get more ingredients, the food you can make will be richer. Try again later. Lu Shu looked at these recipe lists and was a little excited. Although Reiki fruit is delicious, you will get tired of it if you eat too much. It's been a long time since I had a normal meal of meat. However, there is still a big battle ahead. Lu Shu first focused on the Revenant Armor. Dead Soul Armor. Type. Body Armor. Grade. Gold Level. Attributes. Defense 50, Curse Resistance +10, Durability 300. Set. Revenant 8-piece set, 3/8. Effect. Revenant Perception +3, Curse Resistance +20, Evil Spirit Resistance +10. Description. Has a certain bonus in resisting attacks from undead monsters. Lu Shu put on the armor. It didn't take long. A prompt appeared again before my eyes. The invasion of the Grey World on the second day is coming. So fast. Lu Shu's eyes moved slightly. In fact, the flow of time has not changed at all. but the scale of the invasion faced by Lu Shu is too great. In contrast, the battle on the Dark Knight Divine Tree Island has ended long ago. Not much time to rest. Lu Shu immediately stood up and prepared for the next battle. The next second, as the gray world began to tremble violently again, countless armies of dead souls began to emerge in the direction of the sacred tree. The cursed soul. Type: Undead. Risk factor: B. Sensing range: 20 meters. Strength: 25. Speed: 30. Defense: 20. Skills: Soul Invasion, Soul Draining. The cursed Necromancer. Type: Living Dead, Dark Priest. Risk factor: B+. Sensing range: 30 meters. Strength: 30. Speed: 25. Defense: 50. Skills: Summoning of Wrong Souls, Driving of Dead Souls, Debilitating Curse. Except for these monsters, the wretched female ghosts, dead souls, and evil spirits that Lu Shu had encountered in the gray world actually all poured into the sacred tree island. It's those monsters from the city of the dead. Lu Shu's eyes suddenly revealed a sharp edge. His clone walked around the city of the dead, stabbed him in the back, and disguised himself for a while. He was so familiar with the monsters there that he couldn't be more familiar with them. The invasion of the gray world on the second day. Almost all of these difficult enemies are here. Most of the undead monsters are spirits. Piranha has no effect on them. And the Revenant can also ignore the ore defense line. The overwhelming and endless souls of the dead cover the entire sky. And these dead souls instinctively move towards the sacred tree. Lu Shu instantly realized that destroying the sacred tree was the instinct of these dead souls. The real goal of the gray world monsters invading the sacred tree island is devour the sacred tree, Yumi, quickly possess Pikachu. Pikachu, use 100,000 volts. Attack all the dead souls nearby. Lu Shu immediately commanded. 100 Yumi flew towards Pikachu at the same time and possessed it. 100,000 volts. All Pikachu release their special powers in all directions. Sizzle, sizzle. Suddenly, thunder dragon-like electricity covered the sky. The dead souls rushing towards the sacred tree like a tide, under the restraint of the lightning system, instantly turned into black mist and dispersed. You killed the dead soul, defense points +5. You killed the ghost of the wrong soul, defense points +10. You killed the cursed soul, defense point +50. The island of the Dark Knight God Tree. Lu Shu's clone raised his knife and cut down all the zombies that were rushing towards him. Different from the natal island. On the island of the Dark Knight God Tree, the monsters that invaded on the second day were still zombies, not dead souls. Because I went to 2 hard-level dungeons, did all the zombies invade on the first day? Lu Shu's heart moved slightly and she understood the reason. After he killed several zombies again. Suddenly, I discovered that in the gray fog, there were no zombies coming anymore. You have killed all nearby zombies. The island was defended successfully. 2 prompts popped up in front of Lu Shu. Lu Shu was stunned. Is this a success? Isn't it too easy? Compared with his own island, the invasion of the gray world on the Shadow Tree Island is simply a simple mode, as long as you have the skills. Look up. The gray fog nearby is quietly fading away. The sun always shines on the sacred tree. Then, the Shadow Divine Tree began to grow. Good guy. My other island is killing people. Even the monsters were killed in this battlefield. Lu Shu couldn't help but complain. When the gray world invades, it will block the sunlight. After killing all the monsters nearby, the gray fog in the sky faded. Therefore, the sacred tree can grow again. The production of the Shadow Divine Tree has also begun. The next shadow fruit has more than a day to fully mature. Certainly, the Grey Realm invasion of this island is over, but it does not mean that Lu Shu's battle is over. Before the invasion of the main battlefield ended, the Shadow Island only completed the defense in advance, but did not prompt Grey World invasion defense successful. Since Lu Shu owns 2 islands, this island can eliminate all enemies in advance. Next, what Lu Shu wants to do is to deal with the army of dead souls on his natal island with all his strength. Sizzle, sizzle. The sound of violent electricity sounded nearby. However, there was an obscure spell coming from behind. As a huge undead formation lit up, hundreds of undead creatures were summoned by the cursed Necromancer. Forgot about these guys. Lu Shu's expression darkened slightly, and he commanded, Pikachu, kill these undead masters first. Pick up. Pikachu nodded quickly and rushed in the direction of the Necromancer. However, the Necromancer uses the skill of Dead Soul. All nearby undead creatures surged towards Pikachu. 100,000 volts. Pikachu's body quickly emitted violent electricity. However, when the power was released, Pikachu's movement also stopped. After killing the nearby dead souls, the Necromancer drove endless dead souls to kill them. And, taking advantage of this period of time, the Necromancer continued to summon the souls of the dead. If you don't kill these summoners, you will face endless enemies next. Lu Shu's brows wrinkled slightly. At this time, behind Pikachu, Yumi suddenly released a golden missile. Boom! When the fishing missiles hit the dead souls, all the nearby dead souls turned into a black mist and disappeared. Yumi's skills are so strong. Lu Shu's eyes lit up and he immediately commanded, Yumi, assist Pikachu in charging. With Yumi's fishing missile to kill nearby dead souls, Pikachu's burden becomes much easier. The cursed Necromancer saw something was wrong and immediately chanted a spell. The next second, the aura of cursed decay entangled towards Pikachu's charging figure. Seeing that this curse is about to fall on Pikachu, suddenly, a barrier appears next to Pikachu. Yumi launched a combo of hitting and blocking. This shield can even block curses. And Yumi's magic attack can also have a great effect on the souls of the dead. Finally, Pikachu came to the cursed Necromancer. 100,000 volts. Z-la-la. A violent current instantly covered the figure of the undead master. You killed the cursed Necromancer, defense points plus 100. You killed the cursed Necromancer, defense points plus 100. Lightning flashes and the thunder dragon roars. The Necromancer was killed instantly without any suspense. When all the undead masters on the battlefield have been cleared away, all you need to do is kill all the remaining souls. At this time, a prompt popped up in front of Lu Shu's eyes. Warning: the evil spirit Geisa is invading your sacred tree island. Chapter 41. The boss of the city of the dead has also come to attack. Lu Shu's eyes suddenly narrowed. Basically, the entire city of the dead came to attack the sacred tree island. However, there was a fighting spirit in Lu Shu's eyes. What a great time to come. Sooner or later, this copy will be delivered. Why don't we kill you quickly now? In sight, an evil spirit whose whole body was surrounded by will-o-wisps and whose body was as huge as a mountain appeared directly above the sacred tree island. The boss data panel appeared in front of Lu Shu's eyes. Evil ghost guy. Type: evil spirit. Risk factor: A. Sensing range: 50 meters. Force: 230. Speed: 200. Defense: 250. Skills: Blade of the Dead, Roar of the Evil Spirit, Spirit Puncture, Firefield of the Dead. Description: legend has it that every year, the demons in Castlevania will find a person with the craziest soul, refine his soul, and undergo hellish pain to create an evil spirit that can be called a work of art. Die, bug. The evil spirit Gaihei roared. In its hand, a 10-meter-long sword appeared. Blue flames bloomed on the armor and blade. That is the will-o'-the-wisp power that higher evil spirits can use. 100,000 volts. Pikachu attacks Guy, the evil spirit, and unleashes lightning-type abilities. However, when the lightning fell on the evil spirit Gaihei's armor, it was unable to penetrate even an inch. The evil spirit Guy turned around, shouted angrily, and slashed at Pikachu. Pikachu jumped away quickly. The will-o'-the-wisp on the tip of the knife fell to the ground, immediately opening a 30-meter-long ravine. Its attack power can be described as shocking. Although the power is great, the speed is very slow. Lu Shu looked calm and could see the other person's shortcomings at a glance. Roar. When the evil spirit Guy saw that his attack could not hit Pikachu, he immediately let out a deafening roar. The evil spirit Gaihei activated the evil spirit roar. The attributes of nearby creatures that are harmed will be reduced. When the evil spirit roars and spreads, the attributes of the surrounding Pikachus all dropped by 1 level. At this time, the threat of the evil spirit Gaihei has increased a lot. Pikachu's physique is relatively weak. If he is hit by the evil spirit Guy, his defense will be difficult to withstand. Yumi, use your energy. Pikachu, dodge the opponent's skills. Under the command of Lu Shu, A green light curtain suddenly lit up on Pikachu's body. Subsequently, Pikachu's condition was restored instantly, and his movement speed was greatly increased. The evil spirit guy struck with his sword, and Pikachu quickly dodged. He narrowly dodged the blow. Pikachu, circle around the evil spirit guy and try to get closer. Yumi, use the fishing missile. Attack its armor. Lu Shu commanded calmly. The trajectory of the fishing missile is very long. And the flight trajectory can also be controlled at will. With Pikachu's speed, Yumi's fishing missile can easily attack the evil spirit guy. However, when the fishing missile hit the evil spirit guy, it was also blocked by this armor. After the evil spirit guy was attacked, although it was not painful, it could not tolerate the presence of the enemy and roared angrily again. The evil spirit guy is using spiritual puncture. Mental puncture attacks Pikachu invisibly. Yumi, release the shield. Lu Shu reminded. The next second, a goose yellow shield appeared on Pikachu's body. Yumi's continuous hits and blocks instantly released a shield when she attacked the evil spirit guy. The psychic piercing attack was blocked by the shield. Release a lightning attack again. But no matter how he attacks, the evil spirit guy's armor blocks all damage. Neither the 100,000 volts nor the fishing missiles can cause effective damage to this boss. Pikachu did not waste any more energy on attacking, and instead used his dexterity to avoid the evil spirit guy's long knife. The situation was temporarily at a stalemate. Can't cause harm. Lu Shu frowned slightly as he watched the battle on the field. Thunder and lightning powers should be able to restrain evil spirits. But Pikachu's thunder and lightning didn't have any effect on the evil spirit guy. There's something weird about this guy's armor. We have to break the armor on it first. Lu Shu narrowed her eyes slightly and saw the clues. The evil spirit guy's will-o'-the-wisp armor is the main reason why he has such powerful combat power. His eyes turned. Lu Shu suddenly saw the artificial rivers surrounding the island. All river water is holy water purified by the Holy Grail, which has the effect of restraining the undead and purifying curses. Yes, I can use holy water to purify the armor on the evil spirit guy. Even if high-level evil spirits are immune to lightning-type abilities, they are definitely not immune to evolution. Think of this. Lu Shu condensed a clone. After the clone appeared, he immediately rushed towards the battlefield. Yumi, possess me, Lu Shu said. One of the Yumi saw Lu Shu coming to the battlefield and immediately withdrew from Pikachu. After being possessed by Yumi, Lu Shu turns on the shadow movement speed and turns into an afterimage. The speed is extremely amazing. It didn't take long for him to arrive near the evil spirit guy. The stars have changed. The next second, Lu Shu displays innate level martial arts skills. Boom! There was a violent sound of water. The holy water stored in the surrounding man-made rivers all rose into the sky. Under the control of Lu Shu, the Uzumaki River turned into holy water and swept towards the evil spirit guy. The evil spirit guy roared, and balls of will-o'-the-wisps appeared around him. The evil spirit guy is launching the undead fire field. Huge blue will-o'-the-wisps rose up one after another from the body of the evil spirit guy. However, when the will-o'-the-wisp comes into contact with the holy water, it is immediately purified by the holy light. Lu Shu used the star shift, and all the holy water turned into Uzumaki, swallowing up the evil spirit guy. Yuck. No, the evil spirit guy made a cry of pain. The armor surrounded by ghostly fire began to fall apart after being purified by the holy water. Pikachu, use 100,000 volts. Lu Shu commanded calmly. All the Pikachu quickly came to the evil spirit guy. 100,000 volts. The next second, the endless lightning suddenly drowned the evil spirit guy. I will make you never reincarnate forever. Before dying, the evil spirit guy let out an impotent and furious roar. Then, its figure completely disappeared in the terrifying lightning. You killed the evil spirit guy, defense points plus 100,000. Is it going to increase by 100,000 points instantly? Lu Shu's heart moved slightly. As a difficult level boss, the evil spirit guy is very powerful, so he also gained a lot of defense points. After eliminating this difficult boss, the mobs behind will become much easier. Next, Lu Shu's clone also joined the battle. After killing the evil spirit guy, there are still some ordinary dead souls around. You only need to clear them all to complete the day's defense. Sizzle, sizzle, Finally, the last undead also died in the lightning. Open the panel. Defense points, 397,222. Nearly 400,000 defense points. Lu Shu was surprised when he saw this number. You know, there are only 100,000 defense points on the first day. By the second day of the Grey Realm invasion, after killing all the monsters, this value had already reached such a terrifying level. If other Sacred Tree Masters were to see this value on the ranking list, wouldn't they be frightened? This is only the second day. Lu Shu has one last day left. This means that his points can continue to skyrocket. Then, the system sent prompts one after another. You successfully resisted the attack on the second day. Reward: Junior Soul X 10,000, Intermediate Soul X 2000, Advanced Soul X 100. Reward: Advanced Skills Illustrated Book, Minor. Reward: Intermediate Skills Illustrated Book, Carpentry. Reward: Advanced Skills Illustrated Book, Carpentry. Reward: Revenant Boots Gold Level X1. Reward: Revenant Long Knife Platinum Level X1. Would you like to learn the Advanced Skill Illustrated Book, Minor? Yes. Would you like to study the Intermediate Skills Illustrated Book, Carpentry? Yes. Would you like to learn the Advanced Skills Illustrated Book, Carpentry? Yes. The next second, Lu Shu's 2 construction skills have been upgraded to advanced levels. In addition to being built to a higher quality and faster, you can also use rare materials to build special defense buildings. Then, his eyes focused on 2 pieces of equipment. Revenant Boots. Type: Protective Boots. Grade: Gold Level. Attributes: Defense plus 10, Movement Speed plus 30, Curse Resistance plus 5. Description: Necessary armor for walking in Castlevania. Dead Soul Long Knife. Type: Weapon. Grade: Platinum Level. Attributes: Attack Power plus 100, Attack Speed plus 10, Soul Restraint plus 10, Critical Hit Rate plus 5%, Durability 550. Skill: Soul Tier. Set: Revenant 8-piece set 5/8. Effect: Revenant Perception plus 10, Curse Resistance plus 50, Evil Resistance plus 30, Critical Hit Rate plus 20%, Blessing plus 5. Description: A weapon specially used to kill evil spirits. It's already a 5-piece set. Only then did Lu Shu react. When a difficult level boss comes to attack your own island, it seems like you can kill it faster. Only 3 pieces of equipment are needed to make up an 8-piece set. Now the attributes of the 5-piece set are already very strong. If only Lu Shu is used by one person, he will be immune to most damage from the dead souls, and cutting down monsters below the boss level, including elite monsters, will be like cutting leeks. There is also the invasion of the last difficult level boss. Lu Shu took a deep breath. The evil spirit Gaihe's strength is similar to that of Red Melee. 100 Pikachu and Yumi fight together with the main body of Lu Shu. Although the battle process is a bit difficult, the overall difficulty is not very high. But next, what Lu Shu has to face is the attack of Magic Sound Holy Land. Compared with the previous 2 difficult level dungeons, the difficulty coefficient of Magic Sound Holy Land has reached a level. One can imagine, the next battle will be even more difficult. Lu Shu glanced at the battlefield and found that Pikachu was already a little tired. Fighting with so many evil spirits is not a small drain on Pikachu. Pikachu's mental strength is gone. Lu Shu frowned slightly. We have to find a way to restore Pikachu's mental power. But the remaining time may not be enough. Suddenly, Lu Shu remembered that there were still 99 Tianling fruits in his warehouse that he had not taken. Correct. When Pikachu swallows the Sky Spirit fruit, he will evolve. Not only can the attributes be comprehensively improved, but the mental power will also be restored to full state instantly. Lu Shu immediately called all Pikachu. However, here comes the problem. How to divide 99 Sky Spirit fruits into 100 Pikachus? Lu Shu thought for a while. How about you each try eating half of it? The first Pikachu stepped forward and tried to eat half of the Sky Spirit fruit. Boom! Something surprising happened. With only half of the Sky Spirit fruit, Pikachu's attributes have evolved. Pikachu. Type: Pokemon. Power: 100,000 volts, Shock Fruit. Physique: C+. Speed: A. Spirit: A+. Overall potential: S+. Is it just the mental power that has increased? Lu Shu saw that Pikachu's other attributes had not changed. The overall potential has not been improved to SS. However, Pikachu's mental strength is restored to full state. And the level of mental power has also been improved. The most important things are all within Lu Shu's expectations. Come and eat the rest. Lu Shu smiled. All Pikachu's attributes improved after eating half of the Sky Spirit fruit. Ding! You have obtained a Shadow Fruit. At this time, Lu Shu's Shadow Fruit has also been produced. The battle on another Sacred Tree Island ended a day ago. Just as the final battle is about to begin, the Shadow Fruit matures. Lu Shu took advantage of the Grey World invasion on the third day and immediately went to the Shadow Divine Tree. Swallow the Shadow Fruit. You have swallowed the Shadow Fruit, and the Shadow Assassin's level has been upgraded to the advanced level. The next second, Lu Shu's career panel was immediately updated. Profession. Name. Shadow Assassin. Level. Master. Attributes. Attack power plus 50, speed plus 100, dodge plus 35. Skill. Shadow movement speed LV2 transform into a shadow, movement speed plus 50. Integrate into the night LV2 in the dark, blend into the night, immune to 80% of physical damage, movement speed plus 10. Shadow escape LV2 perform a teleport within a range of 100 meters. Demonic Thousand Blades LV1 your weapon blade can be split into 1,000 fragments, each fragment causing 5% damage to the enemy. Available skill points. 5. Thousand Blades of Demonic Way. Lu Shu set her sights on new skills. This range type skill makes Lu Shu very satisfied. If your mental power is strong enough, you can control the trajectory of each magic knife and kill every enemy accurately. Try to level up first. Ding! Your Magic Thousand Blades has been upgraded to LV2. The damage of each fragment has been increased from the original 5% to 3%. Upgrading to a level will increase it by 3%. This is a good value for money. Let's just add some of this. In terms of speed, Lu Shu does not have such a big demand for the time being. To resist the invasion of the Grey World, we need the skills of range killing. Similar to Pikachu's 100,000 volts. Ding! Your Magic Thousand Blades have been upgraded to LV6. Demonic Thousand Blades LV6 your weapon blade can be split into 1,000 fragments, each fragment causing 20% damage to the enemy. After doing all this, a prompt also popped up in front of Lu Shu. The invasion of the Grey World on the third day is coming. The island where Lu Shu's body is located. At this time, all Pikachus have returned to their peak mental state. Yumi, perform possession, Lu Shu said. When Yumi possessed Pikachu. Pikachu. Type. Pokemon. Power. 100,000 volts, Shock Fruit. Physique. C+. Speed. A. Spirit. S. Overall potential. SS. It actually reached SS level. Lu Shu showed an unexpected expression. Possessed by Yumi, it can increase Pikachu's mental power. In addition, Pikachu's current mental power has reached A+ level. With the blessing of possession, he suddenly reached S level mental power. And once you cross from A level to S level, it will bring about transformation. The invasion of the Grey World begins. A prompt pops up in front of you. Immediately afterwards, in the grey mist, figures of witches suddenly floated out. Their forms are all spiritual bodies. In his hand, he held an instrument similar to a pipa. Magic Musical Girl. Category. Cursed Living Dead, Luthier. Risk Factor. A. Sensing Range. 40 meters. Strength. 50. Speed. 35. Defense. 70. Skills. Magical Sound, Mental Fury. Less than a moment, hundreds of figures of the demonic musical girl emerged from the grey mist, floating in the sky above the Sacred Tree Island. Get lost in the chaos of magical sounds. The sneer of the demonic musical girl rang out. Fiddle with the strings. The entire Sacred Tree Island was suddenly filled with harsh magical sounds. The demonic musical girls collectively activate the sound of the magical chin and become violent mentally. If other Sacred Tree Masters were to face so many demonic music girls at the same time, they would probably lose themselves in the demonic music, not even being able to release their superpowers, and their minds would be swallowed up by the terrifying demonic music. However, except Lu Shu doesn't feel anything. 100 Pikachu also expressed their calmness. Pikachu's mental power reaches S level and is immune to magic sounds. The effect of your Dead Soul suit is triggered, and you are immune to the magic sound. Pikachu, come on, Lu Shu said immediately. Since Pikachu's attack is ineffective against Pikachu and herself, there's nothing to be afraid of. The attributes of the magic musical girl are not much higher than those of the elite monsters in the City of the Dead, but their magical musical is very troublesome. Will cause a large area range attack. However, if the mental power attribute is far greater than that of the demonic musical girl, it will be useless no matter how many monsters come. Sizzle, sizzle, Pikachu releases 100,000 volts. Mental power increased to S level. The power of lightning is higher than before. Even at a glance, it's easy to see that Pikachu's skills have been strengthened in all aspects. This is the huge increase brought about by the improvement of mental power. Soon, all the magic sounds of these magic piano girls turned into electronic sounds. You killed the magic musical girl, defense points plus 60. You killed the magic musical girl, defense points plus 60. In the gray fog, the magic piano girl keeps appearing. Lu Shu also joined the battle at this time. It's just time for you to test the power of the 1,000 blades of the demonic sword. Click, click, release the magic sword 1,000 blades. The Dead Soul sword in Lu Shu's hand immediately broke into thousands of fragments. Whoosh whoosh, each blade cut through the air, produced a harsh sonic boom, and flew towards the demonic musical piano girl. The light of the knife flashed. In an instant, a large number of demonic musical girls died under this blow. Isn't this skill too strong? Lu Shu was slightly startled. The lethality of the 1,000 blades of the demonic sword was beyond my imagination. However, if it were an ordinary shadow assassin, using the 1,000 blades of the demonic knife would never be able to produce the effects like Lu Shu. The long sword of the Dead Soul has a restraining effect on the demonic musical girl. Coupled with Lu Shu's level, which has been upgraded to the Innate level, the 5-piece set of the Dead Soul and the long sword of the Dead Soul, there is also a 25% critical hit rate. How many critical hits can 1,000 blades produce? Killing the demonic musical girl instantly in a large area is naturally no problem. This 1,000-edged magic sword has been upgraded to a valuable level. Lu Shu's eyes lit up. After some professions are upgraded to advanced levels, if there is a correct growth path, the potential is not small. If the 1,000 blades of the demon sword were upgraded to the top level, with 100% damage, the scene would be unimaginable. After half a day of fighting, a large number of demonic musical girls have died at the hands of Lu Shu. After Pikachu's mental power is upgraded to S level, the consumption of releasing 100,000 volts is much smaller than that of a level, and it can basically be used. There was a large-scale sweep on the battlefield. Lu Shu opens the panel. Defense points, 623,333. Just by killing the demonic musical girl, the defense points gained are no longer a small amount. Not to mention that there is a boss behind. Jung. At this time, a more harsh magic sound came from the gray mist. As the boss coming, Lu Shu looked into the distance and narrowed her eyes. Saint of Magic Sound. Category: Cursed Living Dead, Luthier. Risk Factor: S. Sensing Range: 100 meters. Force: 250. Speed: 220. Defense: 270. Skills: Piercing Magic Sound, Magic Sound Protection Array, Magic Sound Violence, Magic Sound Array, Crazy Magic Sound Dance. Description: The Demon King of Castlevania is a demon who loves art. Almost every once in a while, he listens to a refreshing piece of music. The demonic sound saint is deeply loved by the Demon King. Magic Sound Protector. Category: Cursed Living Dead, Luthier. Risk Factor: A+. Sensing Range: 80 meters. Force: 120. Speed: 115. Defense: 105. Skills: Piercing Magic Sound, Magic Sound Protective Array, Magic Sound Array. Description: They are the band of the Magic Sound Saint. Only the piano girls who have shown extremely high attainments in musical talent will be selected. Except for the Magic Piano Girl. 100 Magic Sound Guardians followed the Magic Sound Piano Girl to protect her. Get lost in the Magic Sound. The magic sound guardians formed a large formation and began to play the magic sound. Waves of demonic sounds that made people mad echoed throughout the entire sacred tree island. You suffered from the violent sound of the magic sound, your attributes and resistance were reduced, and you entered a weak state. Lu Shu frowned slightly. The magic sound array can combine the sounds of the magic sound guardian's piano. The puncture force is doubled. At this time, resistance becomes less useful. Under the cover of Yumi, Pikachu tried using 100,000 volts. However, electrical powers are not that effective against the magic sound guardian. Before the lightning even touched the magic sound protector, it was shattered by the sound of the piano. The demonic musical girl, the protector and the saint are not considered dead souls. Electric powers are not very effective in restraining them. Judging from the description, both the undead and the living dead are creatures refined by demons. Electric powers are useful against low-level monsters such as undead souls, but they are only averagely effective against demons, or the living dead carefully raised by demons. Lu Shu quickly analyzed the situation on the field. The first thing to deal with is this big formation. The magic sound has a violent effect and can disable thunder and lightning. However, as a natural attribute of thunder and lightning, it will be disturbed by the sound of the piano, but this is not necessarily the case with magic. Yumi, use the final chapter of the grimoire. Pikachu, move quickly to a location where magic can attack. After breaking through the formation, immediately use the power of shock fruit to kill them instantly. Lu Shu commanded. The next second, above Yumi's head, a secret magic book suddenly appeared out of thin air. This grim book, when you turn to the last page, violent magic emerges. The golden ripples carry the supreme meaning, like a huge wave, rolling crazily towards the position of the magic sound protector. 100 Yumi, using the final chapter of the grimoire at the same time. Suddenly, the large formation formed by the magic sound guardians was shrouded in a golden light curtain. Like the sun falling to the ground, all the magic sounds were unable to interfere with this majestic magic bombardment and fell apart. Boom! The golden magic power that emerged from the final chapter of the magic book, with a sacred aura, bombarded the magic sound guardians, causing them to suffer huge damage. At this time, the magic sound formation could no longer hold up and collapsed instantly. The moment Pikachu breaks through the formation, he releases the power of shock fruit with all his strength. Since most of the monsters in the Magic Sound Holy Land are living dead rather than revenants, they are not immune to physical damage. 100 Pikachus unleash the power of shock fruit at the same time. That moment, natural disaster is coming. One after another, ferocious cracks swept towards the defense line of the formation. Click, click, the space was like shattered glass, with countless jenning cracks appearing. And in those cracks, the body of the magic sound protector was suddenly divided into countless pieces. The state of death could not be more miserable. You killed the magic sound protector, defense points plus 2000. You killed the magic sound protector, defense points plus 2000. Just killing one of these limited level elite monsters will bring you quite a lot of defense points. When the aftermath of shock fruit dissipates, on the field, only the demonic musical girl was left, sheltered in a dark protective shield. The last magic sound protective formation allowed the magic sound saint to survive by chance. However, the piano in her hand was completely broken. What else can the magic sound saint do without her piano? You despicable beasts. How dare you destroy my piano? No, if that master can't hear the sound of the slave's piano, he will definitely kill me. The voice of the demonic sound saint revealed anger and fear, and her expression suddenly became ferocious and twisted. You all must die. The next second, the magic sound saint began to dance an extremely strange dance. The magic sound saint is launching a crazy magic sound dance. Enter a violent state. Acquire physical resistance, mental resistance, magic resistance. Within 10 minutes, if the demonic sound saint cannot be killed, everyone within the range will lose themselves in madness. However, before the demonic sound saint can dance for a long time, 1,000 blades suddenly came from the void. The sharp blades carried the purifying holy water and penetrated the body of the holy maiden of demonic sound. In essence, the ability of the demonic sound saint comes from the curse of the demon king. The purification of holy water has a complete restraint effect on this power. You're the only one who wants to dance. Lu Shu sneered. His mental power controlled thousands of blades, instantly piercing the entire body of the holy maiden of demonic sound. Prosperity, the end of the song. At last. There was a trace of confusion in the eyes of the demonic sound saint. Her figure slowly disappeared into the air. You killed the demonic sound saint, your defense points plus 200,000. Rewards. Junior Soul X 10,086, Intermediate Soul X 2333, Advanced Soul X 666. Reward Elementary Skills Illustrated Book, Piano Art. Reward Intermediate Skills Illustrated Book, Piano Art. Reward Advanced Skills Illustrated Book, Piano Art. Reward Search Torch X1. Reward Magic Sound Sacred Piano, Diamond Level X1. Would you like to study the Elementary Skill Illustration, Piano Art? Yes. Would you like to study the Intermediate Skill Illustration, Piano Art? Yes. Would you like to learn the Advanced Skill Illustration, Piano Art? Yes. The next second, a Skills panel appeared in front of Lu Shu. Skill. Piano Art. Level. Advanced. Function. Can use any kind of piano instrument to play music, and can use some special piano weapons. Lu Shu's eyes were on the Magic Sound Holy Chin. Magic Sound Holy Piano. Type. Weapon. Grade. Diamond. Requirements for use. Advanced piano skills, Advanced Mage, none. Attributes. Ability power plus 300, Spirit plus 50, Spell penetration plus 100, Durability 1000. Skills. Magic Sound Piercing, Magic Sound Fury. Description. Causes a range of psychological damage to humans. Does it require a mage profession to use it? Lu Shu's eyes moved slightly. This means that you need to unlock a new profession. Lu Shu does not have such fruit for the time being. However, the God Tree game can have more than one profession. Shoxian and Shadow Assassin can coexist at the same time. Then of course you can unlock one more mage career. If you have a chance in the future, let's look for fruits like this again. After the death of the Magic Sound Saint. After waiting for a while, no more monsters came out of the gray fog. A ray of dawn suddenly broke through the gray fog and shone on the sacred tree. The surrounding gray fog receded into the distance. Finally, a victory prompt popped up in front of me. You successfully resisted this invasion of the gray world. Defense points, 1,090,000. Comprehensive evaluation, SSS-Level. Unlocking SSS exclusive rewards for you. 1 million defense points. Lu Shu took a deep breath. SSS grade rating. This should be the highest rating that Grey Realm Invasion can get. In fact, Lu Shu can only get an SSS rating because the rating of the Divine Tree game is only that high. When the rankings come out, look at the points of other Sacred Tree Masters, and you will know what the number of 1 million defense points is. Open SSS level rewards. A dazzling array of prizes suddenly popped up in front of Lu Shu. You have obtained a rare ore, Tianling Ore X 50,000. You have obtained rare wood, Rosewood X 100,000. You have obtained a special building, Spirit Gathering Tower, Zon Level X1. You have obtained a city defense prop, Spiritual Power Cannon, Zon Level X10. You have obtained a rare seed, Pea Shooter X100. You have obtained a rare seed, High Nut X100. You have obtained a rare seed, Sunflower X100. You have obtained a rare seed, Cabbage Pitcher X100. You have obtained a rare seed, Corn Pitcher X100. The area of your Sacred Tree Island has been expanded by 50 square kilometers. Ranking rewards will be issued when ranking points are announced. When the ranking points are announced, the Grey World will be opened again. Please stay on the island during this time, otherwise you will be responsible for the consequences. Lu Shu suddenly felt dazzled. Are there too many prizes? There are so many that I can't even count them. Tianling ore, this kind of ore can build a special line of defense. Its strength is far beyond that of ordinary ores. It can even be blocked by spiritual bodies. Lu Shu glanced at the description of Tianling mine and her eyes lit up. In this defense line, ordinary ores can only block the zombie attack. But there is no way to get rid of the undead. After having Tianling mine, from now on, even the undead will be kept out. Rosewood is a high-grade wood, but the sturdiness of any kind of wood is too low, so it is naturally not used to upgrade the defense line. Use rosewood x 30,000 to build a house. Use rosewood x 3,000 to build a rosewood sofa. Use rosewood x 1,000 to build a wooden bed. Use rosewood x 50 to build a coffee table. Lu Shu used these woods to completely upgrade the cabin. Soon, a 3-story log cabin mansion was built. It feels like an ancient wooden mansion. The furniture inside is also made of rosewood. The furniture made of this high-grade wood has fine texture, luster and smooth texture, and is full of texture. At first glance, it looks elegant yet noble, showing luxury in a low-key manner. After building a villa, Lu Shu suddenly felt like she was not living on an island, but like she was on vacation. Many rich people would be jealous after seeing this magnificent villa. After the villa is built. Next, Lu Shu set his sights on special buildings. Should we build a gathering tower? Yes. The next second. A magnificent tower building stands on the east side of the island. The tower is 30 meters high. An Eastern Taoist formation is imprinted on its interior. With the formation driving, the nearby spiritual energy gathered towards the island. After the total amount of spiritual power absorbed by the sacred tree every day is increased, plus the effect of a 100-fold increase, you can gain 100 more growth points every day. Good stuff. Lu Shu couldn't help but sigh. Around the tower, Lu Shu mounted 10 spiritual cannons nearby. The spiritual energy cannon can absorb spiritual energy from the spirit gathering tower and bombard the enemy. Except for the large army, Lu Shu now also has his own city defense building. The next time we encounter an invasion from the Grey World, the spiritual cannon can blast the first wave of charging cannon fodder to pieces. Greatly reduce the mental energy consumption of Pikachu troops. Rare seeds. When Lu Shu laid her eyes on these seeds, her expression suddenly became strange. It's not really those things, is it? He tried to sow a pea seed. Pea seeds x 100. Growth time. 0.6 days, 365 550ths. These rare seeds can also be blessed with the talent of a 100-fold increase and spring resurrection. Lu Shu's eyes lit up instantly. In this way, wouldn't he be able to have an army of plants? Piranha is one of the rare plants. Pea shooters and other plants should be able to cause damage to enemies. No matter how bad it is. It seems like a good idea to spit out some peas and potatoes to improve the food. Just Lu Shu is a little curious, what role does sunflower play on the island? Soon, Lu Shu buried all the seeds in the surrounding soil. Pea shooter x 10,000, growing. High nuts x 10,000, growing. Sunflower x 10,000, growing. Cabbage pitcher x 10,000, growing. Corn pitcher x 10,000, growing. After half a day, Lu Shu will have a new plant army. The battle is over. Pikachu and Yumi were exhausted. They fell down next to the sacred tree one after another, absorbing the nourishment of the sacred tree and replenishing their spiritual power. After this battle, the relationship between Pikachu and Yumi has also become much closer. A Pikachu wanted to use its A-level movement speed to launch a sneak attack on Yumi. However, Yumi directly possessed Pikachu, making it impossible for the other party to play tricks on her. These little guys are quite affectionate. Lu Shu smiled. Cultivating their relationship will help them cooperate more closely in future battles. This is a good thing. That's right, cooking. Lu Shu suddenly remembered that she still had cooking skills that she had not used. He took out the upgraded wild boar from the warehouse. Would you like to make braised pork? Yes. The next second, the pork in front of Lu Shu was shrouded in white light and turned into a plate of fragrant braised pork. The scent immediately attracted all the nearby pets. Eat it. Lu Shu smiled. These little guys have been fighting for themselves for so long, and they have worked hard. Anyway, in Death Manor, there is still a lot of upgraded wild boar meat stored in Lu Shu's warehouse. Suddenly, hundreds of Yumi and Pikachu all ran over. And Lu Shu conjured up all kinds of delicacies like a magic trick, which also surprised these little ones. Try a piece. Lu Shu ate a piece of braised pork, and her eyes suddenly lit up. This smell, excellent haute cuisine. You only need the simplest ingredients to make the most ultimate delicious food. Although it's just a plate of home-cooked braised pork. However, the heat, texture, and chewiness are simply impeccable. By the way, I still have some primary spiritual energy fruits that I haven't used yet. Lu Shu tried making a plate of jam pork chops. The fragrance of the Reiki fruit blends perfectly with the taste of the pork chop. This unique taste, indescribable, it's like a delicacy that can only be tasted in heaven and on earth. Sitting on the balcony of the villa, Lu Shu slowly tasted the jam pork, and then used the remaining fruit to make a cup of juice. The sunset was infinitely beautiful, and the afterglow of the setting sun stretched the shadows of the villas and mansions. Lu Shu was sitting on the sandalwood chair, tasting delicious food and drinking drinks. It was so comfortable. In previous lives, only the enviable multi-millionaires had the conditions to enjoy this kind of life. The other sacred tree masters who were still eating grass probably never imagined that the sacred tree island could still create such a life. I can even pet a cat. A magic cat quietly came to Lu Shu's side. The comfort of this hair is impeccable. Next, Lu Shu began to explore other parts of the island. After the Grey World invasion is over, the gray fog nearby dispersed a lot into the distance. The visual space is suddenly much wider than before. If at the beginning, the gray fog was like a barrier oppressing the border, so now, the gray fog is far away, like a towering mountain peak in the distance. Where the gray fog disappeared, a large area was opened for exploration. The area of the Sacred Tree Island has expanded by 50 square kilometers. Lu Shu wanted to see what these places had to offer. The Sacred Tree is located in the center of the island. It is a relatively tall area. Where the gray fog dissipated, a forest covered with vegetation appeared, but it looked like tropical plants. These places are not suitable for development because they will be invaded by gray fog later. And the defense line should be built around the high ground. This can reduce the cost of construction, and then go to the areas outside the island. Lu Shu surveyed the terrain and chose to build the defense line at its original location. Do you want to spend 50,000 tianling or to build a defense line? Yes, as a huge white light curtain descends. The original defense line was a mammoth structure composed of white earth walls. Now, it has turned into a blue spiritual stone. Although the material of the Sky Spirit Master looks as transparent as the blue sky, it is much better than ordinary ore in terms of strength and defensive properties. It contains spiritual energy inside and can resist even the undead. There are a lot of improvements. After the defense line was built, Lu Shu's island seemed to be surrounded by giants, majestic. Then, Lu Shu walked towards the edge of the island. The vegetation here is much richer than the original grassland. But I didn't find much of value. But the expanded scope is really much larger than before. In the future, more rare plant seeds will be obtained, which can be built outside to form a defense line composed of magical plants. In any case, the area has increased, and there is much more maneuverable space behind Lu Shu. Even if the defense line has to be extended to the outside, with the decomposition skills, it can be operated at any time. Finally, the gray fog ahead is getting closer. Unconsciously, Lu Shu had reached the border. Wow! The sound of a wave suddenly reached Lu Shu's ears. Ocean. Lu Shu's ears twitched slightly, feeling surprised. Why is there still a sea here? He rushed towards the sound of the waves. Arriving less than 100 meters away from the gray fog. In front of you, a golden beach appeared. Outside the beach is blue water. But Lu Shu could only see a small part of the sea water. The other end of the sea is blocked by gray fog. Only when the gray world invades next time and continues to expand the area will we know what is on the other side of the sea. Suddenly, Lu Shu suddenly remembered something. Etc. When the game Sacred Tree starts, everyone is on an island. Does it mean that in this world, everyone is an island? And the area covered by the gray world is an ocean. Every time the gray world invades, the area of the Sacred Tree Master's island will expand. Then, when the island area expands to a certain extent, or even to the other side of the sea, will it be connected to the islands of other Sacred Tree Masters? At this time, Lu Shu thought of a setting in the Divine Tree game again. The Divine Tree Master who survives to the end will become a god. When the island area expands, the Sacred Tree Masters will inevitably be connected to the islands of other Sacred Tree Masters. By the time, could it be that two Sacred Tree Masters lived in the same place in harmony? Obviously impossible. As long as the Sacred Tree game is going on, you will definitely be connected to other Sacred Tree Masters. By then, the battle is inevitable. On the other side of the sea is the enemy. As the game's sacred tree continues, every island may be connected together. And when the sacred tree game ends, there will only be one sacred tree master who will get all the islands in the world and everyone's sacred trees. Interesting. Lu Shu suddenly grinned. There has never been a so-called survival mode in the God Tree game. There is only one winner who can become the last true god. And his target is naturally the geniuses on the rankings. If the rules of the Divine Tree game are really like this, then one day in the future, Lu Shu's island will be connected to the islands of other Divine Tree masters. This time in the rankings, we can see who the real strong enemies will be in the future. At this time, a prompt popped up in front of Lu Shu's eyes. The Grey Realm ranking has been announced. The ranking list of this Grey World invasion has appeared. All Sacred Tree Masters are requested to read the following rules. 1. This ranking will be based on the defense points and comprehensive evaluation of each Sacred Tree Master. 2. Only the top 100 Sacred Tree Masters will be announced in the rankings, and different rewards will be given according to the ranking ladder. First place, God level reward. Second place, a diamond level weapon plus platinum suit. Third place, platinum suit. Fourth to 10th place, platinum weapons. 11th to 30th, golden weapon. 31 to 50, searchlight torch X1 plus searchlight candle X5. Number 51 to 100, searchlight fire candle X10. Lu Shu glanced at the reward list and frowned slightly. Besides first place, are there any other rewards? I already own one of the diamond level weapons. After the 8-piece set of the Revenant set is put together, the help it provides in places like Castlevania is even more powerful than the ordinary platinum set. But, Lu Shu estimated that his score should be surpassed by any Sacred Tree Master. You only need to wait for the rankings to be announced to know what the God level reward for first place is. World public screen. When the ranking rules came out, it immediately aroused heated discussion among everyone. This reward is too great. Diamond level weapons. My highest level weapons now are only silver level. Not only that, there is also a platinum suit. I remember that the suit has additional bonus effects, right? Combined with diamond level weapons, it feels like you are invincible. Unfortunately, only the second place can get this reward, and the gap between the rewards behind is too big. Good rewards are concentrated in the top 10. The rewards below are all average. After reaching the 50, there are basically no good things. Yeah, I can get things like the searchlight fire candle just by walking around in the dungeon. This thing is used to give out rewards. Forget it, mosquito meat is still meat no matter how small it is. So, only those ranked high enough can get the best rewards. Those ranked below 50 will receive nothing but scrap metal. Who knows what the reward for first place is? Not sure, it only says God level rewards. Looks so mysterious. Based on the rankings, I feel that the gift given to the first place may not be of the same level as the previous one. The second place was given a diamond level weapon and a platinum suit. What do you think the first place can get? It's not an artifact that will be given away directly, right? I feel sour. I also want to be first, but unfortunately I only have 50,000 defense points, so there should be no hope. You are too Versailles upstairs. My invasion of the Grey World only has 500 points. How did you get 50,000 points? I have killed 1,000 zombies, so I only have 1,000 points. How did you get the 50,000 points upstairs? Awesome. Reservation on the top list. When a 50,000 point Sacred Tree Master appeared in the chat box. Just like fried fish, everyone was shocked. Take advantage of the time while waiting for the rankings to be announced. Lu Shu also opened the world public screen. Thousands of messages are refreshed every minute. According to the content that popped up above, Lu Shu found that most of the Sacred Tree Masters had less than 1,000 points. Some Divine Tree Masters with relatively strong talents and the courage to explore beyond the Grey World generally have around a few thousand points. As long as a Divine Tree Master with tens of thousands of points appears, it will be enough to gain everyone's worship. Oh, I envy you who can get hundreds of points and 1,000 points. This time when the Grey World invades, I risked my life and got 100,000 points. If I had known, I wouldn't have gone to explore so many places. The killing made my hands cramp. I'm so exhausted. At this time, in the public chat screen, a player named Lu Feng, broke out with a score of 100,000 points, once again attracting everyone's attention. Mom, the smell of Versailles upstairs was so strong that I couldn't resist it anymore. Listen, is this what people say? I failed to speak because my rank was too low. 100,000, real or fake? I'm afraid it's going to be on the list, right? So far, are there any bosses with more than 100,000 points? However, when Lu Feng appears, some big guys seem to be attracted too. Tisk, tisk, when did Lu Feng become so lazy? Aren't you one of the top 10 masters of Muyu Pavilion? It's only 100,000 points. It's a pity that Grandpa, I already have 150,000 points. The person who said this sentence has an ID named Rakshasa. Lu Feng, wow, 150,000 points, so awesome. Rakshasa, as long as I'm better than you. Lu Feng, ha, a score of 150,000 is better than a score of 160,000. Didn't you go to elementary school? Rakshasa, are you 160,000 points? Why are you blowing? Lu Feng, I'll just see you on the list then. I'll see how many of you can get into the Dark Knight Alliance. Rakshasa, haha, I'm sorry, the first place on the list has been reserved by our alliance leader, and your points are not even half of others. Lu Feng, it seems that other people's points are your points, but they are not yours. What are you talking about? Besides, the first one on the list is your alliance leader. I'll give you an idiom, idiots talk about dreams. The public chat screen suddenly became much quieter. The two top guys started to quarrel, and Mengxin underneath was trembling and didn't dare to say a word. Lu Shu also analyzed it from the conversation between the two. This Rakshasa should be from the Dark Knight Alliance. Muyu Pavilion, is it an organization founded by Mu Yuting Feng? Lu Feng's score in Shenshu game is already very high, but in Muyu Pavilion he is only ranked among the top 10. Moreover, being able to compete with the Dark Knight Alliance shows that Muyu Pavilion is not that simple. At this time, a chat window popped up in front of Lu Shu. Mu Yuting Feng said, "It has been almost 7 days since the last transaction. I am here to receive the primary spiritual energy fruit." When the message is sent successfully, Mu Yuting Feng was sure that Lu Shu was not dead. In fact, this time I came here to ask for fruit secondly, but mainly to confirm whether Lu Shu was still alive. Lu Shu didn't say much and directly handed over the primary spiritual energy fruit. Mu Yuting Feng, how was the performance of this Grey World invasion? The tree lover, it's not bad. Lu Shu was a little surprised. Mu Yuting Feng actually asked herself this. However, after the rankings are announced, she will know her points. It will be over by then. This guy is still pretending to be mysterious. Mu Yuting Feng thought to herself. However, according to her judgment, Lu Shu should have returned to the island quickly after obtaining the second first kill achievement, otherwise he would not have traded high-level spiritual energy fruits with her so quickly. Therefore, the scope of exploration is not as large as expected, so the number of monsters is not very large, right? In this case, the total score won't be that high, only tens of thousands of points at most, right? Mu Yuting Feng didn't bother to ask any more questions. After hanging up the communication, a chat window suddenly popped up in front of Mu Yuting Feng. Lu Feng, Sister Mu, how was your defensive performance this time? Mu Yuting Feng sat cross-legged with a smile on her lips. 370,000 points. This time, I want to get the first place in the rankings. There should be no problem. Lu Feng, Sister Mu is too fierce, her defense points are almost 3 times mine. This time in the rankings, the first place will definitely be yours. Mu Yuting Feng smiled lightly. Or, she had already been planning how to get this point. Lu Feng, Sister Mu, if I were on the ranking list, what would my ranking be? Mu Yuting Feng said, it can probably enter the top 30, but it may hover around 30. All right, Lu Feng looked a little frustrated. After all, his expectation is to rank in the top 10. However, the gap between this goal and his current level is still too big. Lu Feng, Sister Mu, who are the top players in the rankings this time? Mu Yuting Feng said, if nothing else happens, and ye should be able to rank in the top 5. Lu Feng, top 5. That's normal. After all, he has 3 S-level talents, which is already terrifying. Mu Yutingfeng said. The Divine Tree Masters of the Dark Knight Alliance are all very strong. Although that Rakshasa's points are not as good as yours, it is still very dangerous to fight him if you meet him in the Grey World. The ranking of the Divine Tree Masters does not mean anything. Talent is the most important thing. Lu Feng, Sister Mu, do you think Shenshu Games have SSS-level talents? And Yi is already so strong, but he only has 3S-level talents. Mu Yutingfeng, there seem to be only 2 SS-level talents in the entire Sacred Tree game. Lu Feng didn't say much. He had heard Mu Yutingfeng say before that there were 2 SS-level talents in the Divine Tree game. One of the owners of SS-level talents is Mu Yutingfeng. The other one is a Sanren. However, except for Awakening and SS-level talent, the other 2 talents of that Sanren were mediocre, not even A-level. Even if one talent is very good, other talents must work together to achieve the best effect. Sometimes, talent level doesn't tell the story. If the 3 talents drawn by Ohuang work well together, their effectiveness will be no less than that of S-level talents. Mu Yutingfeng said. Perhaps, in this Sacred Tree game, there are no SSS-level talents in the first place. Lu Feng, have you used the power of the Sacred Tree to see it? Mu Yutingfeng, I tried it, but it didn't work. When Lu Feng heard this answer, he sighed. It seems that SSS-level talent does not exist anymore. It's just because it doesn't exist that it can't be perceived, right? Mu Yutingfeng said. Anyway, when the rankings come out, we will know who the masters are. Shenshu Games has 1 billion players. Although Mu Yutingfeng always communicated with the top Sacred Tree Masters, she could not guarantee whether there would be any hidden masters behind her back. At this time, a system announcement popped up in front of everyone's eyes. The Grey Realm rankings are now announced. World public screen. Come on, let's begin. Pick up the small bench and sit down. How many points do you think the 100th place will get? Let's make a blind guess of 30,000. I looked around in the chat channel, and I don't seem to find many bosses whose points can exceed 30,000. 30,000 is already awesome, right? That means killing 30,000 zombies. What kind of awesome talent does one need to awaken to kill so many enemies? Let's not talk about whether they can be killed or not. I don't even know if there are 30,000 zombies. While everyone was discussing, the system suddenly announced the name of the 100th person. The list of Sacred Tree Masters who entered the rankings for this Grey World invasion is as follows. 100th place. Sun Yang, defense points, 78,777, comprehensive evaluation, a level. 99th place. Luo Sheng, defense points, 79,266, comprehensive evaluation, a level. When the data for the 100th place is announced, most of the people present were dumbfounded. Shit, the 100th place actually costs almost 80,000 points. Sorry to bother you, I don't think I deserve to touch this list in my life. Looking at my 3-digit points, I suddenly feel that I am not worthy to speak at this time. With all due respect, those who can be on this ranking list, even if they are ranked 100 with mediocre rewards, are the ones I need to kneel down and lick. It's so scary. Just to get on this list, you need to kill almost 80,000 zombies. Those who can get on there are all gods. The 100th place is already so high, so how scary must the monsters on it be? You won't forget that there are a billion people participating in this game, right? What is the concept of being able to kill 100 people out of a billion people? This is much lower than your probability of getting into Qingbei. Is this the world of the strong? The old man from Versailles who had 50,000 points just now has completely disappeared. Although Mogami said that he would not be able to get the first place, in fact, being able to get 50,000 points was considered a very high score in the God Tree game. Even if you can't get first place, you should settle for the next best thing and get top 10, right? However, reality was like a bucket of cold water poured on him. Brother Versailles never thought in his life that he could not even reach the 100th place, and the gap was nearly 30,000 points. What kind of terrifying monsters must those people who were photographed at the front and have not yet spoken on the rankings be? At this time, not many people still remember the old man from Versailles just now. If even 100 people can't get in, who will remember the name of such a person? In this kind of ranking list, Few people will remember the second place, let alone 100. Everyone will only remember the first place. 52nd place. I am really not long Aocean, defense points, 128,777, overall evaluation, S-level. Number 51. Luo Sheng, defense points, 139,266, comprehensive evaluation, S-level. When the ranking reached 50, the defense points had soared to almost 150,000 points. But, at this ranking, the gap between the Sacred Tree Masters is much smaller. Most of them are floating around 131. Rakshasa, defense points, 159,777, overall evaluation, SS level. 13th place. Lu Feng, defense points, 161,777, overall evaluation, SS level. When this ranking comes out, Lu Feng, ha ha ha, Rakshasa, have you also been punished by me today? Lu Feng, Rakshasa, why are you 31? Is the search torch useful? Lu Feng, why didn't you speak? Weren't you very arrogant just now? Why are you silent now? Rakshasa, it doesn't matter if you are one rank higher than me. The number 1 spot in the rankings this time must belong to our leader. Lu Feng, I think you are just dreaming. Rakshasa, how about it? Do you dare to make a bet? Lu Feng, oh, what are you betting on? Rakshasa, I will produce a platinum level weapon, do you dare to bet? Lu Feng, okay, just bet, who is afraid of whom? 30 is just 1 spot away from 31. However, this gap in quotas makes the contents of the rewards completely different. Rakshasa was also completely furious. He actually took out a platinum level weapon as a bet. You know, at this stage, platinum level weapons are quite valuable, even for top divine tree masters, they are equivalent to half of their net worth. When other sacred tree masters saw this scene, they couldn't help but wonder what kind of organization the Dark Knight Alliance was. Rakshasa actually dared to bet that their boss would get the first place in the rankings. Moreover, Rakshasa's ranking is not low, but he is not the strongest being in that organization. How strong should that alliance leader be? As time goes by, unknowingly, the rankings are getting closer and closer to the top. 10th place. Mu Daoist, defense points, 211,777, comprehensive evaluation, SS level. 9th place. Master Jin Chan, defense points, 231,897, comprehensive evaluation, SS level. Unconsciously, the ranking has reached the top 10. At this time, the number of messages generated every second is astonishing. Almost all the Sacred Tree Masters are discussing the ranking information. Why is there suddenly a difference of 20,000 defense points between the 10th place and the 9th place? It seems that the gap has become even wider. Actually, this is normal. In the middle stage, everyone's strength is not much different, but when it comes to the head stage, the gap between each other is often reflected. Yes, in this world, there is no strongest, only stronger. Look, the 8th one has come out. Wow, it has actually reached 250,000 points. Wait a minute, please note that 250,000 points is still an SS level evaluation. So how many points are needed for an SSS level evaluation? I don't know, maybe no one can get an SSS rating for this game, right? I feel the same way. The requirements are simply too high. The SS level is only rated after 150,000. The SSS level score is so high that no one can get it, right? Mu Yu Tingfeng's eyes moved slightly. Are Mu Daoist and Master Jin Chan only ranked 9th or 10th? I originally thought their ranking would be higher. It seems that in this ranking, there are some dark horses that I don't know about. Certainly, when the scores are announced here, Mu Yu Tingfeng was in a relatively relaxed mood. Her score was as high as 370,000, and the 8th place score of 250,000 was still 100,000 points behind her. 6th place. Netherworld, defense points, 262,337, overall evaluation, SS level. 5th place. Zhang Shui, defense points, 268,337, comprehensive evaluation, SS level. 4th place. Guiyan, defense points, 301,997, comprehensive evaluation, SS level. When I got to 5th place, the defense points have exceeded 300,000. Worship the top 5 guys. The 4th place's return to seclusion is simply outrageous. In one fell swoop, the defense points reached 300,000. This is a fraction that I will never be able to reach the decimal point in my life. My mother asked me why I was kneeling and looking at the chat box in front of me. 300,000 and there is no SSS level rating yet. The requirements for this game are too high, right? I think so too. Why are the requirements so high? A bit incomprehensible. At this time, Mu Yutingfang couldn't help but feel tense. Guyan is only 4th, he should have an SS level talent. The one in front should be Dark Knight. But, who could the other one be? When the points reached the point of 300,000, Mu Yutingfang started to feel nervous. There are still 3 lists left that have not been announced. Come, finally we are in the top 3. Sit down in the front row, melon seeds are on sale. Look up to the big guys on the ranking list. Oh, I don't dare to look at these names anymore, I feel like I will be severely hit. Just get used to it, the top 3 among a billion people, I just want to know how outrageous their scores will be. Next, the 3rd place in this ranking list is announced. 3rd place, Dark Knight, defense points, 322,337, overall evaluation, SS level. This moment, Rikshasa's expression was completely unbearable. Lu Feng, at Luo Sha, ha ha ha, hurry up, the platinum level weapons are handed over. Lu Feng, at Luo Sha, hey, don't be ridiculous, did you agree to start gambling? Lu Feng, at Luo Sha, tisk, 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 start pretending to be dead when you lose, don't play if you can't afford it. Seeing Rikshasa's reaction, others couldn't help but cast their eyes with contempt and disdain. I thought the Dark Knight Alliance was so awesome, but they couldn't even afford to place a bet. That's right, their alliance leader is only the 3rd, not the 1st, so why are he pretending? Anyway, I look down on this organization, what a hot chick. When Mu Yutingfang saw Anyi's scores coming out, he suddenly breathed a sigh of relief. He is 3rd, with only 320,000 points. It's 50,000 points behind me. In this case, the 1st place should be mine. I don't know where the 2nd place came from. The Dark Horse can actually run into the Dark Knight. Just when Mu Yutingfang was thinking about this issue, suddenly, the 2nd place list was also announced. 2nd place, Mu Yutingfang, defense points, 379,997, overall evaluation, SS level. What? When the list is announced, Mu Yutingfang was stunned on the spot. I'm actually 2nd. It's not just Mu Yutingfang. Lu Feng was also completely stunned. Sister Mu already has 370,000 points. She is only 2nd, so who is the 1st one? Everyone in the chat box was also completely shocked when they saw Mu Yutingfang's points. Wow, the 2nd placed guy was so awesome, he even beat that Dark Knight by 50,000 points. Too strong, so scary. Unfortunately, I didn't expect that the 2nd placed boss could not break through the SS level evaluation. It feels like no one can achieve the highest rating of SSS this time. 370,000 points, I feel very heaven-defying, the next one should be more than 300,000 points, right? It's hard to say, it's possible to get 400,000 points, but it's overwhelming here. I guess if I want to get an SSS rating this time, I'm afraid it will take 500,000 points. What kind of monster is this to achieve such a rating? The game's Sacred Tree is too difficult. Among a billion people, it can't even get an SSS rating. Just when everyone was talking about it, finally, the 1st place list has been announced. 1st place, Lu Shuren, defense points, 1,090,000, overall evaluation, SSS level. How can this be? When Mu Yutingfang saw that name, his eyes widened instantly, his face full of disbelief. When Lu Shu's points were displayed in front of everyone, the chat messages on World Public Screen instantly exploded. 1 million. Oh my god, can anyone tell me if I missed a decimal point? Isn't this guy number 1 on the list the Tree Raider, who got 2 first kills last time? Yes, I also remembered it after saying that. who said that the first kill of the guy on the list was obtained by relying on a yellow-skinned rat. At that time, I really believed such nonsense. The paratrooper meant myself. It's so awesome. 1 million defense points. How on earth did this guy who is number 1 on the list achieve it? If I could just get a hair from the boss's leg, I should be able to take off. You think too much. You can't control even a hair on the boss's leg. Be careful of being tied up and played by the boss's leg hair. Who said that Shenshu game does not have an SSS level rating? The guy who is number 1 on the list will give it to you with his hands. I'm so stupid. What kind of god is the tree boss? He got 2 first kills and got another million points, which is almost twice as much as the leader. The strongest person on the list is so terrifying. Actually, this is not impossible. Those who can reach the top of the list only have to break through themselves over and over again. The gap between others and him is too big. But this is too exaggerated. The 300,000 points on the second list, I originally thought it was very high, but in the end I could only get people's knees. If the names of these rankings are the stars that other sacred trees look up to but are out of reach. So, the name of tree lumber has now become a big mountain weighing down many names on the ranking list. It is still an insurmountable peak. Eras. When the second place results were announced, no one could have imagined that the first place results would be so exaggerated. At this time, Mu Yutingfang was almost petrified on the spot. As she watched line after line of chat messages flashing before her eyes, she suddenly felt an unprecedented sense of frustration in her heart. 22 inches number 1 on the list is number 1 on the list, why are you always comparing me to it? Mu Yutingfang was so depressed that she almost vomited blood. Whenever people in the chat box mention Lu Shu, they always compare themselves to him. She felt that the meaning of her existence was like a backdrop, existing specifically to set off other people's awesomeness. However, looking at the points of the tree raider, Mu Yutingfang almost couldn't help but slap herself, wondering if she was having a nightmare. No wonder the scoring conditions this time have become so high. Under normal circumstances, 100,000 points should have been rated as SS level. If it reaches about 300,000 points, it will definitely be judged as an SSS level evaluation. However, that guy got 1 million points, which completely raised the overall upper limit. Therefore, other sacred tree masters can only get SS level evaluations, while he alone can get an SS dollar level evaluation. Thinking of this, Mu Yutingfang couldn't help but clicked her tongue, feeling the gap like a chasm. Relying on the power of one person to raise the evaluation standards of the rankings. Nearly 3 times the total score, crushing myself. This is not just as simple as crushing oneself, but crushing, completely crushing. I must see who you are. A burst of incandescent light suddenly burst out from Mu Yutingfang's pupils. The endless secrets seemed to be reflected in her pupils. In sight, a hazy island suddenly appeared in front of Mu Yutingfang. The sacred tree in the center was shrouded in mist, faintly emitting a hazy golden light, and looked extremely sacred. At this time, Mu Yutingfang's mind suddenly shook violently. The island in front of me collapsed instantly. The next second. Cough, cough, cough. Her body trembled, as if she had suffered a violent backlash, and she couldn't help but cough up a trace of blood. The secret must not be revealed. Mu Yutingfang's face was pale, looking extremely painful due to the backlash, and there was an unparalleled look of horror in his eyes. This feeling, it's not like she hasn't tried it before. It is when predicting SSS level talent. Mu Yutingfang also encountered similar backlash. She never told anyone about it. However, unexpectedly, when I was calculating the sacred tree island of the tree lumbling man, today, this feeling actually appeared again. Could it be that this guy is a sacred tree game? The only SSS level talent owner. Mu Yutingfang took a deep breath and finally calmed down from the shock. She suddenly remembered that at the beginning, she thought that the tree raider only had C-level talents. She suddenly remembered that she still felt that the other party's talent might not meet the conditions for joining Muyu Pavilion. Now that I think about it, my previous idea was not so ridiculous. How could such a strong person join an organization founded by others? Regardless of whether the tree lover has awakened his SSS level talent. We at Muyu Pavilion must never be enemies with such people. First try every means to establish a good relationship with him. Even if it comes to the worst possible situation, we must never become enemies with such a terrifying existence. Mu Yutingfeng took another deep breath. She soon realized how to get in touch with a top supreme powerhouse like the Shuren. An island of darkness, heavily clouded. Even if the fog dissipates, there won't be any sunshine here. The sacred tree in the center seems to blend into the dark night. The man sitting under the sacred tree is hidden in the night and his figure is elusive. Tree Man. The man opened his eyes, and relevant information appeared in his mind. He had an impression of the name. A few days ago, several men from the Dark Knight Alliance told me that the Tree Man had killed Johnny. Certainly, and Yi is too lazy to pay attention to such small things. They are just a few trash fish, and they will die if they die. What's more, it was Johnny who made the stupid mistake of trapping people he shouldn't mess with. I thought this name would be forgotten soon, but unexpectedly it appeared at the top of the list. Now, even if I want to forget, I can't forget it. The corners of Anyi's mouth curled up slightly. 1,000,000 points. This person's sacred tree ability should be very suitable for defense in the sacred tree island. I originally thought that defensive talents were all useless talents. They couldn't take the initiative in the gray world and were destined to be passive. I didn't expect that there is such a rule in the gray world. If your defensive talent is strong enough, you can return to the island after exploring the dungeon and attract monsters to the sacred tree island to kill them. This is equivalent to reducing the difficulty of conquering the dungeon. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Treatment. I'm very interested in your talent. Dark Knight's eyes showed excitement. He was not intimidated by Lu Shu's power. Only if the target's divine tree talent is heaven-defying enough, and you will be interested in such a divine tree master. Otherwise, what is the use of killing some trash and getting those low-level talents and ordinary sacred trees? Everyone listen. Starting today, pay close attention to the information about the Tree Man. No matter all the information, as long as it is collected, you can receive rewards from the organization. Change Mu Yutingfeng, who is number 1 on the bounty ranking list, into a tree lubber. As soon as the order came out, all the sacred tree masters of the Dark Knight Alliance began to pay attention to Lu Shu's information. Strong men such as Netherworld and Rakshasa also deeply imprinted the name of Tree Man in their minds. Today passes. The 1,000,000 points at the top of the list is destined to be unforgettable for many people. Many sacred tree masters who have achieved higher points have actually noticed the relationship between the Grey Garden and the island. They also gradually understood that there is an enemy on the other side of the sea. At this time, the true rules of the Divine Tree game have finally emerged. Rewards for the Grey World Invasion rankings have been distributed. In the ranking of this Grey World Invasion, you ranked first. Prizes are being distributed. Have the rewards finally been distributed? Lu Shu came back to her senses from practicing. To be honest, he was also looking forward to it. What exactly was the God-level reward for first place? Other rankings are known rewards. But nothing was said about the God-level reward for first place. It's quite mysterious. The next second, several prompts popped up in front of Lu Shu's eyes. You have obtained a God-level formation, Tianji Array. You have obtained a mythical creature, Golden Dragon Koi. You have obtained the mythical site, Tianmen. These rewards. Lu Shu's eyes lit up instantly. Should the Tianji Array cover the entire Sacred Tree Island? Yes. The next second, using the Sacred Tree as the eye of the Heavenly Secret Formation. The entire island is covered in a mysterious formation of heavenly secrets. Vaguely, a huge Tai Chi yin and yang diagram appeared on the entire island. Then, the sky, the earth, and the surrounding aura of the island seemed to be connected together, forming a harmonious whole of yin-yang and 5 elements. Lu Shu suddenly discovered that after the Tianji Array was deployed, he was on the island and could capture the aura of heaven and earth more clearly. At the same time, the attributes of Pikachu and Yumi have also been enhanced. The Heavenly Secret Formation contains the mystery of the numbers of heaven. Being in a formation can enhance one's own combat effectiveness, while also weakening the enemy's combat effectiveness. Especially for the undead, it has a considerable suppressive effect. Moreover, the Tianji formation can also shield everything on the island, making it difficult for the Sacred Tree Masters outside to attack. If it is connected to other islands in the future, the Tianji formation can even completely hide the entire island. In addition, the Tianji formation can shield the secrets. If there is a divine tree master with prediction ability who wants to rashly spy on the situation of my sacred tree island, he will be counterattacked by the Weiji formation. Simply put, the Tianji formation has improved the defensive properties of Lu Shu's sacred tree island by more than one level. Future. Whether it is resisting the invasion of the Grey World, or connecting the islands of other sacred tree masters to engage in inter-island confrontation, it can play a vital role. Golden Dragon Koi. Lu Shu set her sights on the second reward. A thought came to my mind. The Golden Dragon and Koi Carp immediately appeared in the river of holy water. Golden Dragon Koi. Category: Mythical Creature. Level: First Level. Blessing Halo. Luck plus 10. Evolution Points: 10. Evolution points required to upgrade to level 2, 250. It's actually a pet that increases luck attributes. Lu Shu's eyes suddenly lit up. After experiencing a copy of the Grey Realm, Lu Shu deeply realized how important luck is. Whether it's fighting monsters to explode equipment, or exploring in the Grey Fog, many things are unknown. In this case, the attribute of luck is simply not important. If your luck value is high, you can just swipe a few 587 monsters to get high-level equipment. Even if you encounter danger, you can turn it into a good thing. Moreover, this attribute is something Lu Shu has never found a way to improve. Only by ranking first in the rankings and receiving God-level rewards can you get a way to increase your luck. And this opportunity, Lu Shu is one of the very few on the entire Sacred Tree Island. Or some special professions that use luck as a plus point also have the ability to increase luck. But the aggressiveness of those professions is generally very weak, and there is no way to compare with Lu Shu. I don't know how to increase the evolution points of the Golden Dragon Koi. Lu Shu thought for a while. He found a heavenly spirit fruit from the warehouse and fed one to the Golden Dragon Koi. Your Golden Dragon Koi swallowed a heavenly spirit fruit, and its evolution points plus 5. Only 5 points added. Lu Shu was a little bit tongue-tied. Isn't the Golden Dragon Koi too difficult to raise? However, Lu Shu felt a little relieved when he thought that this creature was a mythical creature. All the remaining 48 heavenly spirit fruits were given to the Golden Dragon Koi. Now, the evolution point of the Golden Dragon Koi reached 255 in an instant. Your Golden Dragon Koi has reached the evolution point required to upgrade to the second level. Do you want to choose to evolve? Yes. The next second, the attributes of the Golden Dragon Koi have also changed. Golden Dragon Koi. Category: Mythical Creature. Level: Second Level. Blessing Halo. Luck plus 20. Evolution points: 5. Evolution points required to upgrade to level 3, 1050. Let's talk about it later. Lu Shu couldn't help but smile bitterly. Even if you wait until the production cycle of those 100 heavenly spirit fruits is reached, feeding them all will only reach half of the upgrade progress. It's better to wait until there are more advanced fruits later, and then feed them. Lu Shu had a vague feeling that if the Golden Dragon Koi was upgraded to level 9 or above, unexpected changes might occur. Could it be that? Can it really evolve into a golden dragon? The last reward. Lu Shu thought about it. A majestic, resplendent and hundreds of feet tall mythical building stands proudly on the Sacred Tree Island. The reflected golden light illuminates everything. It's like arriving in the mythical heaven. The heavenly gate of golden light stands in the east of the island, like a giant spanning the sky and the earth. It looks like a giant that makes people feel awe and worship. Legend has it that after crossing the heavenly gate, the level of living beings will be completely evolved. There is also a saying that a fish leaps over the dragon's gate. The moment when Tianmen stands on the island of the sacred tree, Lu Shu immediately felt that the nearby heavenly spiritual energy was coming out, much stronger than before. Besides, Lu Shu also found that she had unlocked the Mythical Ruins panel. Mythological Sight. Tianmen. Attribute increase. Attack power plus 50, defense plus 20, spirit plus 10, critical hit plus 10%, puncture plus 20, blessing plus 20. Description. This is an incomplete Tianmen. If it is pieced together completely, there will be unexpected changes. It turns out to be a field-increasing building. Lu Shu understood immediately. The Tianji array connects Tianmen and the island. Therefore, Tianmin has received a certain attribute increase for all creatures in the realm of the Sacred Tree Island. Not just Pikachu and Yumi. If those magical plants are planted in the future, they will also be blessed by Tianmin's domain. If there were too many mythological sites, the effect of the increase would definitely be terrifying. When the time comes, Lu Shu will create an island that no one can invade. Ding. Your pea shooter X10,000 has finished growing. Ding. Your sunflower X10,000 has finished growing. Opening square bracket, closing square bracket. Lu Shu's eyes lit up slightly. At this time, the seeds planted not long ago have all grown. At a glance, densely packed pea shooters, sunflowers, etc., grow in an orderly manner around the island. The sunflowers are planted in the innermost, coming over are the corn pitchers and cabbage pitchers, and the pea shooters follow closely behind the tall nuts. These magical plants, with the blessing of Tianmin and Tianji formation, can condense spiritual energy to attack. Although their attack power is very low, the pea shooter is equivalent to the first level of Qi training, while the corn pitcher and cabbage pitcher are equivalent to the second level of Qi training. However, these plants are able to absorb spiritual energy and grow. Not only the spirit gathering tower and Tianji array, the sunlight produced by the sunflower every day can also allow these plants to evolve. Although the combat effectiveness of a single plant is not high, the combination of so many plants is already very strong. In this way, I am not just a lonely troop like the Piranha Legion. Lu Shu came to the location of the plantation. The area where the island expanded was used by Lu Shu as a planting site for magical plants. It's basically the same as the defense line, it also surrounds a circle. Come near the corn pitcher, cabbage pitcher and pea pitcher. Correct. Can you let these guys spit out some plants and use them as food? There is only one ingredient, upgraded pork. Isn't it too monotonous? Eating meat all day long will not do any good to your appearance if you gain weight in the future. Lu Shu thought about it. The cabbage pitcher, corn pitcher and pea shooter immediately spit out the ingredients. You can really get ingredients. At the same time, many recipes popped up in front of Lu Shu's eyes: braised pork trotters with pea and corn, sautéed pork with cabbage, corn and pork soup. I made delicious food, maybe I can get it from the trading interface to exchange for some fertilizer. Suddenly, Lu Shu remembered that he might be the only person in the God Tree game who could make delicious food. He once thought about whether to use the fruit to exchange with others, but this would increase the strength of others. After knowing the rules of the Sacred Tree game, Lu Shu would not throw the superpower fruit to the auction to make a loss. All these good fruits are fed to my pets and koi. The extra props obtained in the dungeon, as well as some consumables, can be exchanged for a reasonable amount. Lu Shu tried to make 100 copies of braised pig trotters with corn and peas. Open the transaction interface. Choose to put on the shelves. Item: braised pork trotters with corn and peas. Type: food. Quantity: 100. Trading conditions: 1 pack of primary fertilizer. At the current market price, 10 packs of primary fertilizer can be exchanged for 1 pack of intermediate fertilizer, and 10 packs of intermediate fertilizer can be exchanged for 1 pack of high-level fertilizer. Of course, this is just the market price. High-end fertilizers are basically priceless. During the invasion of the Grey World, the price of primary fertilizers has risen to ridiculous levels. Some people even started to speculate on the market price of fertilizers. Recently, prices have skyrocketed, which is shocking. Many Sacred Tree masters who want to buy primary fertilizer to quickly become stronger cannot afford it. There aren't many left of Lu Shu's high-grade fertilizers. He doesn't want to throw the superpower fruit up and redeem it. As for materials and items such as primary souls, not to mention that Lu Shu is still useful, and others may not be willing to exchange primary fertilizers for them. Therefore, it seems that the food is still more likely to attract some rich people. World Public Screen. At all members, brothers, please open the transaction panel and take a look. I found a magical item. Someone discovered the delicacies on Lu Shu's shelves and immediately announced all the information. There is such a real recipe name. Is it true? You need a pack of primary fertilizer to replace it. Are you crazy? I don't know how precious primary fertilizer is now. If you can take out a bag of primary fertilizer just to exchange for food, you are a fool. Wait a minute, let's take a look at the name of this kind of seller first. Isn't it the tree-laying guy who topped the list? Everyone took a closer look. Only then did I discover that the sacred tree master who put this product on the shelves was none other than the Tree Raider. The gray mythical character with an SSS level evaluation and defense points of up to 1 million. Should I drop one? He is really that big shot. Boss, I exchanged it for you with a pack of primary fertilizer, please take care of it in the future. How fast are you guys? 100 delicacies were snatched up by you just like that. Who just said that people who exchanged primary fertilizer for this are fools? Are you afraid that you will become a fool now? I'm afraid that person will no longer dare to appear on the forum, mocking the big guys on the list. Do you still want to hang out? After the first invasion of the Grey World. Now, the surviving sacred tree masters are all old fools. The quality of the chat box has also improved a lot, and the average IQ feels like it has instantly increased. After learning that the person who put this product on the shelf was the tree lumping man, some big bosses chose to buy the food without hesitation. How can this be delicious food? Isn't being familiar with a big guy on the list much more valuable than a pack of primary fertilizer? I ate the delicious food cooked by the top guy. I was so moved. This is a taste I had only enjoyed at home before I traveled to the Sacred Tree Island. The one above is real and fake. I redeemed it for the braised pig trotters from the top guy. I haven't used it yet. Is it that delicious? It is recommended to eat it while it is hot. The taste makes me feel like I am back home. I originally thought that it would be a loss if I exchanged it for primary fertilizer for the delicacies of the big guy on the list, but now it seems that even if I exchange it for intermediate fertilizer, I am willing to do so. You guys with fast hands have gone too far. You have snatched these delicacies and brag like this. I'm envious. I also want the opportunity to be a big brag. Who said we lied? If you try the taste of this delicacy yourself, you won't say so. After eating fruits for so many days, I almost forgot what real food tastes like. You people, are you so exaggerated? It's really not an exaggeration. If you don't believe it, try it yourself. At this time, Lu Shu has put on the shelves another 100 portions of braised pork. Just a second, all the food was taken. Holy shit, what's your hand speed? 1 second, it's too much, leave some for us. Successfully grabbed the delicacies from the top of the list, try it quickly. Wow, this tastes like food that can only be made by angels. I have also tasted it. Those big guys in front are really not for food. They definitely said this sincerely. They are too short of words to describe the taste of these delicacies, so saying it is like flattering. In fact, I can't describe how delicious this kind of delicacy is. Anyway, I can't help but shed tears. Cried. Each one is really more outrageous than the other. However, after all this hype, everyone began to wonder what the food produced by Lu Shu tasted like. Many people are waiting at the transaction interface. Whenever Lu Shu puts new delicacies on the shelves, they immediately grab them and eat them without thinking. But after waiting for a long time, Lu Shu did not put new food on the shelves. Many divine tree masters who had great expectations could only turn off the interface in disappointment. But the discussion about Lu Shu's food has not diminished. Not only because the person who put it on the shelves was Lu Shu, but also because some big guys were crazy about the taste of the food, which aroused the curiosity of many people. The harvest is almost done. Quote, Lu Shu looked at the 200 extra bags of primary fertilizer in the warehouse and smiled. Being able to sell out all the delicacies so quickly has exceeded expectations. Of course he won't put too much food on the shelves. The reason why these sacred tree masters find the food so delicious is not because the taste of the food is too amazing, but because they have been eating grass for a long time, or they only have unpalatable fruits, so they have a huge demand for real food. After this sense is stimulated, it will be infinitely amplified. It's like a long drought followed by sweet rain. But once you eat too much, you won't feel anything at all. If too many are sold at once, it will only accelerate the saturation of this market. After Lu Shu saw the value of the food he made, he directly chose to sell it in limited quantities. In this way, if you don't need primary fertilizer in the future, but need to choose other rare materials, you can still exchange it with delicious food. Others can only exchange fruits for fruits, use good products from the Grey World, and exchange them for good products from the Grey World. But by making delicious food in exchange for rare materials, Lu Shu basically consumes them at no cost to herself. She is just like a white wolf with nothing, and she doesn't earn much at all. Just when Lu Shu was about to release the information about redeeming high-grade fertilizer, suddenly, a prompt pops up in front of you. The Sacred Tree Master, Mu Tingfeng, requests to trade with you. Choose accept. Chat box. Mu Tingfeng said straight to the point. I have a batch of high-grade fertilizers in my hands. The market price is about 100 packages of primary fertilizer. If you exchange one package, I can give you a discount of 90 packages of primary fertilizer, but I want to exchange it for a delicious meal. Quote. Tree Raider. Okay, then, 2 packs of advanced fertilizers popped up in the transaction panel. Lu Shu only needs to put 180 bags of primary fertilizer, plus a delicious food, into the transaction box to complete the transaction. This is equivalent to a delicious meal and a net profit of 20 packs of primary fertilizer. Moreover, this is a completed exchange under the condition that high-grade fertilizers are priced but not available. It's not too much to say I've made a lot of money. Under normal circumstances, it is doubtful whether 100 packets can be exchanged for 1 packet of high-grade fertilizer. In the current market, the price will definitely increase. I have to say, working with Mu Tingfeng is really a very comfortable thing. After Mu Tingfeng completed the exchange, she felt heartbroken. Even for her, a package of high-grade fertilizer is hard to come by. However, in order to establish a good relationship with Lu Shu, Mu Tingfeng felt that this transaction was still necessary. Bam BS. Forget it, let's eat. Mu Tingfeng opened the braised pork. A scent of fragrance hit her nostrils, making her depressed mood disappear in an instant. Quote. Mu Tingfeng's expression suddenly shook, as she gently took a bite. The delicious food that you may not even dream of in the Sacred Tree Island permeates your mouth, as if you have arrived in a fairyland on Earth. It smells so good. Mu Tingfeng instantly felt that the deal was worth it. It's just 20 packs of primary fertilizer for free. You don't have to compete with those tentacle monsters for hand speed. How comfortable it is. If I could eat such a delicious meal every day, I would be dead and indifferent. A piece of delicious food can be exchanged for primary fertilizer. Not only does it have top-notch aura food, but its combat power is also unfathomable, with a rating of 1 million. This guy is not playing the same game as us. Mu Tingfeng couldn't help but sigh. She suddenly realized that the tree-growing people were becoming more and more mysterious. I got 2 packages of high-grade fertilizer. Lu Shu smiled lightly. With the stable supply of Mu Tingfeng, I will not be short of high-grade fertilizers in the future. Anyway, as the leader of the organization, Mu Tingfeng must have more resources than expected. At this time, a reminder came to Lu Shu's ear. The Grey Realm has been reopened, and the Divine Tree Master can continue to explore the Grey Realm. Is it open? After the first Grey World invasion, Lu Shu now knows the rules of the Grey World. In order to become stronger quickly, Lu Shu will choose to conquer higher difficulty and stronger dungeons. In this world, getting the first place in the rankings doesn't mean anything, it just makes progress faster than others. The confrontation between the Sacred Tree Masters may not be the same as the confrontation against the monsters in the Grey World. Otherwise, when the Grey Realm invades and the Sacred Tree Islands are connected together, if the strength is not as good as the opponent, everything gained before will be in vain. So faint. The moment the Grey World opens, Lu Shu immediately sent out a clone, leading Pikachu and Yumi's troops into the Grey World. The Scepter Torch X1 and the Scepter Fire Candle X10 obtained from the invasion of the Grey World expanded Lu Shu's field of vision to 65 meters. The moment you step into the Grey World, suddenly, Lu Shu found that the Grey World became a little different. When Lu Shu stepped into the Grey World, she found that the location where she appeared was the original Magic Sound Holy City. He looked back and saw that the Holy City of Magic Sound had disappeared. The original copy location has now become the edge of the Grey World. After the dungeon of Grey Realm is cleared, will the dungeon here be refreshed every time Grey Realm invades? Lu Shu saw this clue. Raise the scepter and torch. When he arrived, Lu Shu had already integrated all the fire sources. The field of vision increased to 65 meters, and the range of perception suddenly became much wider. However, Lu Shu did not take it lightly just because his vision had improved. The next place he is going to is the Abyss-level Castlevania. The demonic Sound Saint can only be killed so easily when her own island has a holy water channel. The danger coefficient of the Magic Sound Holy City is only a level. But the danger factor of Castlevania has reached S level. Once you reach S level, the difficulty will also change. Of course, the higher the risk, the higher the rewards and benefits. Together with Yumi, Pikachu's overall potential reaches SS level, giving Lu Shu the confidence to conquer Castlevania. Plus, the clone has 100% of the strength of the original body, coupled with the Shantian realm cultivation and the sub-profession of Shadow Assassin. Lu Shu allows the clone to go over to inquire about information, which can also reduce the risk and loss to a minimum. After a day and a half of traveling, in front of Lu Shu, a magnificent Devil's Gate appeared. Through this door, there is Castlevania inside. This city is majestic and magnificent, and its area is much larger than the previous difficult level dungeon. Lu Shu found a safe place and left a teleportation array first so that he could come back at any time later. Then, walked towards the door. At this moment, 2 magic soldiers wearing armor were guarding the door. Guardian Demon Soldier. Type: Demon. Risk factor: A. Sensing range: 50 meters. Strength: 200. Speed: 150. Defense: 220. Skills: Magic Armor Shield, Magic Blade Slash, Calling Generals. Description: The ordinary soldiers of Castlevania, although their strength is not very strong, there are many of them. The attributes are very high. Lu Shu frowned slightly. Just a soldier, in terms of attributes, it is equivalent to the boss in hard mode. Of course, there is nothing special about their skills, and they are definitely not as difficult to deal with as Red Melee and Evil Guy. However, Calling Generals is a very troublesome skill. Once the magic soldiers are attacked, they will call their nearby accomplices. At that time, Lu 723 will have to face the pursuit of the entire Castlevania demon soldiers. It must be killed before the opponent activates the skill of Calling Generals. Yumi, possess me, Lu Shu ordered. A Yumi quickly flew to Lu Shu's body, and a cat's shadow appeared behind him. Attributes have been improved. Then, Lu Shu activates the Shadow Assassin ability. The Dead Soul sword in his hand began to split into pieces. This is not over yet. A shadow of darkness suddenly descended on Lu Shu, and these blades were immediately hidden in the night. There seemed to be a slight sound of blades breaking through the air. The next second, the 2 demon soldiers standing at the door suddenly had fragments of the Dead Soul sword on their bodies. The blade appeared too suddenly. They didn't even react, and their throats were choked to death on the spot, unable to shout a word. You killed the guard demon soldier, advanced soul +1. Should I consume high-level souls to obtain the other party's soul disguise? Yes. The next second, Lu Shu unlocks the disguise mode of Guardian Demon Soldier. Once unlocked, you only need to consume primary souls to disguise yourself. Anyway, there are now too many primary souls to use up, so Lu Shu immediately entered the disguise state. Come to the city gate. On a straight avenue, there were 2 rows of magic soldiers standing on both sides. This road is over 1,000 meters long. There are a total of more than 2,000 feet guarding demon soldiers guarding this gate. It is enough to show how tight the guards of Castlevania are. The 2 demon soldiers at the door could still be killed silently. But the 2,000 guarding demon soldiers behind the door cannot be killed casually. Even the 1,000 blades of demon sword cannot kill so many enemies instantly. At this time, there was a sound in Lu Shu's ear. Ding! Your shadow fruit has reached the maturity stage. Sacred Tree Island. Lu Shu's body went to the Dark Night Island through the teleportation array. The new fruits of the night are ripe. The growth point of the Dark Night Sacred Tree has also reached more than 3,000 points. There are only 2 days left to upgrade to an intermediate spiritual tree. I wonder if taking this fruit can reach the next level. Lu Shu thought. After all, the current Dark Night Sacred Tree is still a primary CCEF spiritual tree, and the fruit is not as useful. In any profession, reaching the master level is already quite high. At this level, upgrading may require more than just eating 1 fruit. Or maybe the sacred tree evolved and produced higher grade fruits. Pick the fruits of the night. 3 times 5 divided by 2. Lu Shu then put the whole fruit into his mouth. A prompt pops up immediately in front of you. You swallowed a dark night fruit and strengthened to the second stage of master level. Acquire new skills. Night concealment. Acquire available skill points. 2. Then, instructions for new skills appeared in front of Lu Shu. Night concealment LV1 in the night, summon the darkness to cover a 5-meter radius around you. At this time, you will obtain the stealth effect and cannot be sensed. Launching an attack will exit the stealth effect. To put it simply, this is a group sneaking skill. Lu Shu was worried about how to send 100 Pikachus in, and finally came up with such a skill. The 5-meter range is a bit small. Try upgrading it. Spend a skill point to upgrade Night Concealment to LV2, and the concealment range will immediately increase to 10 meters. Pikachu's body is smaller. The concealment range of 10 meters is enough. Yumi can possess Pikachu. Lu Shu judged the skills and felt that Night Stealth Level 2 was almost enough, so she did not choose to compete. Therefore, Lu Shu still focused on the remaining skill point on Thousand Blades of the Demonic Knife. The magic Thousand Blades has reached level 7, but the improvement effect is much slower. Upgrading it by 1 level only increases the damage by 2%. Open the panel. Profession. Name. Shadow Assassin. Level. Master. Attributes. Attack power plus 70, speed plus 120, dodge plus 40. Stage. The second stage beyond the 5th stage and reaches the master level. Skill. Shadow movement speed LV2 transform into a shadow movement speed plus 50. Integrate into the night LV2 in the dark, blend into the night, immune to 80% of physical damage, movement speed plus 10. Shadow escape LV2 teleport within a range of 100 meters. Demonic Thousand Blades LV7 your weapon blade can be split into 1,000 fragments, each fragment causing 22% damage to the enemy. Night Concealment LV2 in the night, summon the Dark Night to cover the surrounding area with a radius of 10 meters. At this time, you will obtain the stealth effect and cannot be sensed. Launching an attack will exit the stealth effect. Available skill points. 0. Grey World, Castlevania. Lu Shu sent a new clone and came to the city gate through the teleportation array. This is the benefit of the teleportation array. If something happens, adjustments can be made immediately without any delay. The new clone has learned the new skill of Night Concealment. Use night cover to hide. All around Lu Shu, a dark night atmosphere immediately emerged. Then, within a radius of 10 meters, all Pikachu entered the stealth state. Yumi possessed Pikachu, so she naturally also suffered this effect. Try it first and see if it works. Lu Shu did not act rashly, but sent a Pikachu to follow him to a guarding demon soldier, and wandered around for a few times. The effect is obvious. The dozens of guarding demon soldiers nearby showed no movement at all. Credibility confirmed. Lu Shu immediately led 100 Pikachu, under the protection of night cover, towards the depths of Castlevania. Smoothly cross this city gate road filled with magic soldiers. Inside the Castlevania, monsters are scattered. There's a lot of scope here. Lu Shu held up the scepter and torch. Although the range of 65 meters was not small, it was difficult to find out the surrounding situation clearly. Because Castlevania is so big, he could only be sure that he had probably arrived at an empty square. There are no iconic buildings around, and I don't know what I will encounter if I walk in a certain direction. A thought came to my mind. Lu Shu took out the Marauder's map. Do you want to consume Intermediate Soul X1 and display it for 5 minutes? Yes. The next second, on this sheepskin scroll, a bunch of dense red dots began to appear. Lu Shu found that the density of enemies was not very high within a radius of about 1 kilometer from him. Usually they are Castlevania residents. Most of the danger coefficients of these monsters are around E level. Their danger and combat effectiveness are not high, but if they are killed rashly, they may be seen by other magic soldiers. In the eastern and central parts, there are densely packed red dots. It seems that the density of monsters is very high. It is probably the main city of Castlevania. Lu Shu doesn't plan to go there for the time being. The number of red dots in the west is relatively sparse. Let's go there first. Lu Shu plans to explore all the monster types in Castlevania before taking action. Tip: You have arrived at the neutral monster copy of Castlevania, Demon Farm. By searchlight torch, in front of Lu Shu, a wasteland appeared. Weeds grow beneath our feet. At this time, a message popped up in front of me. Tip: 65 meters ahead, a Western demonic cow appears. Western magic cow. Type: demon. Risk factor: A. Sensing range: 40 meters. Force: 220. Speed: 130. Defense: 310. Skill: Savage Crash. Description: the special demon clan of the Western demon cow. Their meat is very delicious, but when they get angry, they will explode with terrible fighting power. Neutral monster. Lu Shu's eyes moved slightly. The scope of Castlevania is too large. This city alone is equivalent to the sum of several difficult level dungeons. There are even copies of neutral monsters. The demon farm is the territory of the Western demon cow. This kind of monster is generally not as dense as the demon soldiers and can be killed one by one. That being the case, Lu Shu started killing freely here. Yumi, possess Pikachu. Pikachu, use 100,000 volts. Attack the Western demonic cow. The order to fight is given. Pikachu suddenly flashed out of the night, and his figure seemed to turn into lightning, and he immediately came to the side of the Western demon. 100,000 volts. Sizzle, sizzle. The sound of violent electricity sounded. The Western demon bull roared angrily. After suffering such a large number of lightning attacks, it was still alive. All I can say is that he is really rough-skinned and thick-skinned. Logia's ability to resist. Looking at the prompts in front of you, Lu Shu immediately said, Pikachu, use Shock Fruit's ability. Since the Western demon bull is resistant to lightning, Lu Shu directly chooses to use physical attacks. When we arrived at Castlevania, the monsters here were all demons. The lightning power does not do much damage to the demons, but physical attacks can have an effect. There is no need to say more about how strong Shock Fruit's physical attack is. Boom! A loud noise like a landslide echoed around. This Western demonic cow could not withstand the power of Shock Fruit and died instantly. You killed the Western demon cow and got special beef X1. Super grade beef. Type: ingredients. Description: a high-end ingredient. If cooked correctly, you can hardly imagine how delicious the meat will be. Good stuff. Lu Shu's eyes suddenly lit up. The pork obtained at Death Manor has almost been used up. These ingredients can all be turned into fertilizer. Moreover, the ingredients dropped by the Western demonic cow are special grade beef, which is more advanced than wild boar. If you are used to braised pork, it would be nice to try steak instead. Leading a large army of 100 Pikachu, Lu Shu launched another round of killings in this manner. You killed the Western magic cow, obtained special grade beef X1. You kill the Western magic cow, and get special beef X1. Prompts kept popping up in front of my eyes. After half a day of sweeping, use the Marauders map again. Lu Shu discovered that most of the Western demon bulls around him had been killed by him. However, deep in the farm, there is a big red dot. There are also many small red dots surrounding it, which are ordinary Western magic cows. Lu Shu went to explore the situation first before turning on Night Hide. Tip: 65 meters ahead, the boss of Demon Manor, the demonic ox king of the West, appears. The demonic bull king of the West. Type: demon. Risk factor: A+. Sensing range: 100 meters. Force: 510. Speed: 230. Defense: 710. Skills: Hostile Sense, Savage Crash, Horn Crush, Demonic Bull Roar, Demonic Armor. Description: the Western Demon Bull King is a special race refined by the demons and possesses high-level demon blood. It was created by the demons and seems to have another purpose, to guard a certain place on behalf of the demons. When Lu Shu approached, the Demon Bull King suddenly let out a roar. Warning: the Western Demonic Ox King triggers the passive, hostile perception, and is aware of your presence. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.